Before we get started on this episode of Real Nerds Podcast, remember you can connect to the Real Nerds in many ways. You can follow us on Twitter at Real Nerds. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can also call us 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic-Con 2016 and beyond. I am Ryan, with me always, except last week and the week before.
It's James.
And we have a guest. Dan, welcome back.
Hello.
How are you?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Welcome again.
Thank you again.
Thank you for welcoming into your humble abode. And I was going to say abode, and then I mixed up with home. And I also had some gushers.
Yeah.
I did not think they made those anymore, so I was very surprised that the explosion happened in my mouth.
So I've been holding something back for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
You go to Sam's Club, $9, you get like 36 packages of Gushers.
What?
I'm not kidding.
Mind blown. I must have passed them a million times. I was just at Sam's Club, and I usually, because I'm in school, so I get the snack box of chips.
Yeah.
And I usually get the one that's like 50 because it's like $11.95 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I love Cheetos and I love
it's like
Cool
free.
Ranch Doritos. But then I got the Flamin' Hot ones this time. It's like, oh, those are good. Because they come with the munchies. I love the munchies because it has Sun Chips, Doritos, Cheetos, and pretzels in it.
Okay.
And it's like, everything I love about chips.
I just feel like some of the chips in there that I really like, the flavor comes off of them, so they get worse, and then goes on to other chips. You know? So, like, some of the... Anyway.
You mean like the Flamin' Hot ones?
Yeah, well...
Well, the Flamin' Hot's all Flamin' Hot.
Munchies in general.
You're talking about stuff that's all in one bag.
Oh, okay,
like you eat a
saying.
pretzel that tasted like something
if
else.
you get a Chex Mix or something.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what... No, like, Munchies is that it's all mixed into one bag.
Yeah, but they're all Flamin' Hot, so they all kind of taste the same.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Except
well,
I think the
normal-
Sun
yeah.
Chips are like the garden salsa
Right,
ones.
so that's the thing, is that, like, I think normal Munchies, it's got, like, the Harvest Cheddar ones in there, and so the Harvest Cheddar comes off of the Sun Chips and gets onto the other stuff.
Gotcha.
So the Harvest Cheddar chips don't taste as good because they got less stuff on them. You know? It's chip dust transfer. It's a science that I've invented.
You know what?
I'm studying
it's
it in
it's
my
sound
lab.
science.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Last week I was all by myself. I recorded an episode by myself.
That sounds like the saddest thing on the planet.
It wasn't too bad. I had to fill time, so I did my 10 favorite movies of all time.
Oh, there you go.
And it exists. I just haven't figured out how to transfer it off my iPad to give it to people to
Whatever.
edit.
It'll come out as like a bonus episode.
It'll come out eventually. So yes, we still have not missed a week. It's
it happened.
It happened.
You just weren't there, guys.
I just had to figure out how to get it off my fucking iPad.
Yeah.
And I even said fucking on it. I called it my damn iPad on Twitter. And then I thought I was being really clever when I transferred the Twitter, post to the Facebook post, I put sent from my iPad on it. See, that's funny.
That's pretty good.
That's
See,
pretty good.
Speaking of iPad, this week, I hear at Real Nerds, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we went and saw Steve Jobs. And that's my Apple computer voice.
That was okay.
I know. I don't know how they really sound because I was the poor kid, so I could never afford an Apple computer, that long ago. I don't think I can afford one now, but
the irony is I had the Apple IIe, which is the movie he hates so much in this movie. So, I was a big fan of it. I thought it was great.
yeah,
Only Apple I've ever owned.
yeah. That was 7 years ago, James.
Yeah.
That's what he says in the movie.
That's what he says in the movie. Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned to the end of the show. We'll review that. We'll play the trailer and then spoil the movie, I guess.
Spoil the hell out of it. Guess what? He dies.
Aw.
Yeah.
He does.
But not in the movie.
But that's what you get for being an asshole. He's like the jerk in like teen slasher films. Eventually he's just gonna die.
Yeah. It has to happen.
But we also talk about movies we've been watching, comic books you should buy, movie news, Blu-ray release. Oh, there's such a sweet Blu-ray coming out this week.
There is. We'll get to it.
And yeah, that's what we do. We talk about movies.
Cool.
Things we love. What was that base for, James?
I'm trying to remember what the password is to the Gmail so that I can get to the Alamo
I
Draft
think
House
it's
thing.
Broad-Stew too, isn't it?
Great. Now the entire internet knows our password,
Well,
Ryan.
you can bleep that out.
If I remember to bleep it out, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
I forgot that this goes out to lots of people.
Yeah. You forgot that anyone listens to us.
Yes.
How many people do? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
No idea.
Brad
6?
knows, but
Like 20?
yeah, I think it's like 15 people. Yeah, it's,
Well, we have-
whoever subscribed to our
Your like iTunes feed or
it's whoever follows us on MySpace.
is there a number on that iTunes feed?
No, iTunes doesn't give you numbers.
No, yeah, they don't do
Thanks, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
iTunes,
What the
oh
fuck?
no, iTunes is really horrible at actual reporting. iTunes is one of the worst pieces of shit
Yeah, it's
software I've ever
horrible
worked
for
with.
reporting, but our podcast sounds better on it than other places.
No, it just sounds like it. It just sounds. It just is a place where things sound.
But yeah, you can stream us on Stitcher. I know we have, I don't know how many subscribers on Stitcher either. Brad knows. Brad's like busy filming a feature film, so he is still around. He's just busy filming stuff.
Thanks for the filler, guys. Here's what's coming out of the Alamo Draft House this week.
Well, first, I want to say hi to everybody at Alamo because you had a festival and showed a lot of my movies, and I want to thank you for that and say everybody out there at Alamo, hello. So, hello.
Better be something cool. Just kidding. I know it is.
So here, this is for...
What's happening on the 29th?
Well, I've never done this before, so give me a second. I'm trying to figure this out. Am I going all the way down to the 29th?
What I do is I go to what's happening next week at the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, okay. Oh, next week's sneak peek. That's the section you go
Yeah.
to? Awesome.
Because the 29th is the greatest movie of all time.
So, big screen classics, Houseu is going to be shown there.
That's the greatest movie of all time.
No, that's not the one. Craft Dinner, The Monster Squad.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
it's the Craft Dinner?
Yeah,
I
it's
might
the
do
Craft
that.
Dinner.
I
That's
saw
pretty good.
that last year with, a little bit over a year.
Yeah,
It
where
was
they
just-
had the dude there?
Yeah, it was just before, Kellen was born.
Oh.
The lead actor was there. And I see pictures of him and me. I have lost tons of weight since then.
You have.
I look so fat in those pictures. Like, Jesus Christ.
You're a good looking dude.
Yeah.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Unfortunately, I've been picking it up as you've left it
I've just
behind
been
you.
giving it to you.
Yeah.
Actually, before you move on, I had, this is totally off topic, but it blew my mind today. So my older brother Steve is going to there's a beer festival in Golden.
Sure.
And my mom lives by me in Lakewood. So she said that she would take him there because he needs a ride and, she'll pick him up because you don't drink and drive, guys. And,
What?
Yeah, I know. So him and my younger brother are all drinking down there, and they didn't think to invite me. And I'm just kidding. The last time I had a drink was in February for me and my wife's anniversary. I had a glass of wine. Anyways, so he comes in and his hair's like combed, and he's wearing a really nice flannel shirt, and he has a watch on. He looks like a fucking hipster. My older brother Steve is like
Steve.
dressing nice. Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah. See, that's right. And I
Did he
could not-
fall out of a tree and hit his head?
Dude, I don't know what happened to him. I don't think I've seen him in 2 months, but he like dressing like a hipster, and he's like trying, and I don't know if you've ever met him.
No.
James
I have
has,
not, yeah.
and Steve's a cool guy, but could you picture him like wearing nice jeans, a nice flannel shirt, a watch, combing his
I mean,
hair?
I could picture him wearing a flannel shirt if it hadn't been washed in like a week and a half.
exactly, because I mean he does work in
I
like
can picture him like wearing a flannel shirt if he picked it up off the floor at the Ross.
yeah, no, dude, it's like nice. It was like white and blue, and it was
Whoa!
it was ironed.
No, it's red. In my head, it's red and a darker
okay.
red.
Okay, so let's say it's a dark red and a white, but it was ironed and everything.
Wow.
I know, dude.
Do you iron a flannel shirt, or do you just let it get wrinkly?
No,
and
I don't
comfy?
because I buy the nice ones that don't get wrinkled.
Yeah, but it had like a crease.
It had a crease.
Yeah, like he took time. I couldn't believe it. I was amazed at how
That's
my brother
insane.
looked. But good for him. Anyways,
good job.
besides the Monster Squad, what else we got? Which,
Right.
by the way, if you haven't seen the Monster Squad, it is on Netflix right now, and go see the Monster Squad.
Cool. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene they're gonna show this week, which
Oh.
I've still never seen.
I haven't seen it, but I know Elizabeth Olsen's naked in it.
Yeah, but it's because she's in it. Beetlejuice.
Nice.
They're showing Beetlejuice. Terror Tuesday is going to be Carnival of Souls.
Sores. Ooh, that sounds horrible.
Ow!
So on the Beetlejuice, are they just going to show it for 5 minutes when Beetlejuice is in it? Because that's the only good parts of that film.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sneak out
Sweet.
right after I get out of Antichrist, which they're showing. No, I'm not going to see Antichrist.
I have
I know
no
too much about Antichrist and what's in that movie.
I don't know what it's about, but I have no desire to.
There's some like
Let me guess. It's about the Antichrist.
no, it's like
What?
it's like weird shit. There's like some not sadomasochism. There's like self-mutilation stuff in that movie and like just weird stuff.
This week,
there's a shot of a fox in a field eating itself.
Why?
I don't know. I saw it on the internet.
This week, some Bible thumpers came to my door, and
Which ones?
I'm not 100% sure because I'll tell you why I didn't get past this. When they come to my door, I'm not religious, but I respect people that do that. And I know that sounds weird but I mean, they have to go out there and, knock on strangers' doors and try to do mission. And I don't think they were Mormons because they didn't look dressed nice.
Jehovah's Witnesses are the ones that look really nice, so they were probably Mormons.
No, because the Mormons came to my house a couple days later.
Oh, okay, weird.
And Mormons always wear name tags. These
Yes.
people didn't have name tags. And so they knocked on my door and they said, "Hey, do you mind if we come in and do a Bible study with you?"
Weird.
I know. I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate what you guys are doing, but I just don't believe. It's not for me. But whatever you guys want to do, that's cool. It's not for me. And so the lady said, "Well, do you know World War III is about to happen?"
What?
I said, "Really?"
What are you gonna do, lady?
Yeah, I said, "So what does that mean?" She said, "Well, let's say you're a soldier and you're the good guy, you're the American, and the bad guy is the Middle Eastern people. What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, who says the Middle Eastern people don't think I'm the bad guy?" "No, the Middle Eastern people are bad guys." I said, "Well, Jesus was Middle Eastern." And she stopped and left. That was I just put up a wall. And I don't know if she doesn't know history, but I went ahead and put that up for her.
Where do you think Jerusalem was, lady?
I know. That's what I mean. If you're going to preach to me, preach the right way.
His last name was of Nazareth. Where's Nazareth?
Europe, dude.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But that's what I mean. If you're gonna go out and work hard and try to convert people, get your facts right.
Yeah, you want to talk to me about like, hey, things are gonna be okay. I want to help you out. Great. Don't come to my door and be like, we're gonna blow up the world because Middle Easterns. What?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
I don't want to believe in that.
And that's why I told him. I said, well, maybe they think I'm the bad guy.
You are the bad guy.
Bad guy. Anyways, back to reality.
So,
that's my story for the
next
week.
up, here's a big one. Cabin in the Woods. Gonna show Cabin in the Woods soon.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen that movie since theaters.
Really? You don't own the Blu-ray?
In a theater, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. You haven't seen it in theaters since you saw it in a theater.
Moving on.
Fuck, man, come on.
Thank you.
Be sure to go check out Cabin in the Woods, because I think it's cool that they're showing that movie again. They're doing Afternoon Tea with Crimson Peak because, spoilers for what we've been watching.
Yes.
Crimson Peak, not a horror movie. It's a
teen movie, as it turns out.
Gothic romance. So, it sounds perfect for a.
And there's lots of
afternoon
tea in it.
There is a lot of tea.
I don't know if I drink tea for an afternoon tea of Crimson
that's
Peak.
true. Yeah, what color is the tea?
Oh, man.
Little Shop of Horrors is going to be their Halloween party.
I'll be your dentist.
But the movie that Ryan was talking about is Mondo Cross Chiller is bringing you Army of Darkness.
Yes. Hell to the king, baby. In Super Mario Maker, I was making a level, and I called it Army of Darkness, and it's a castle. So it's literally just a bunch of dry bones that you have to fight through.
Okay.
And every time you get a power-up, I recorded my voice going, groovy. And so every time you get a power-up, it says groovy.
It's so shitty that the sounds in that game don't upload.
I know.
Like-
Because I played it through. I was like, man, why are more people liking my Army of Darkness level?
Because they can't hear you going groovy.
Yeah, they just see a bunch of dry bones. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, this is lame as shit.
I know. I do have one level though that's I've been starred I think 16 times, and it's called Hammer It To Me, and it's a bunch of Hammer brothers in a castle, and it's really hard. I know its completion rate is only like 6%.
There you go.
So I keep on hoping that when I do like the expert thing, it'll just randomly pop up. I'm like, yes, I made it to expert level designer.
only if you have that voice.
I wonder if it like intentionally blocks your own levels from popping up in the 100
don't
Mario
know.
thing.
You know what? I think that'd be giving Nintendo too much credit for online things. So I really,
not.
love
Nicely
Nintendo,
done.
love Mario Maker. That's a fucking cool thing. I don't think that would be the case with them.
I don't think
I've
there's
been spending a lot of time on my new level. I call it Piranha Plants and Chain Chomps. and it's really hard. You have to jump on little platforms, and above them is chain chomps constantly coming down.
Yeah.
So you have to like time your jumps right. You can beat it, but it's difficult. But I'm still trying to tweak it to give you power ups at the right spot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll
So
tell
it's
you-
not impossible.
I'll tell you what, I can't beat it.
Probably not.
I didn't play enough Mario like that when I was younger, and it's been a long time since I played
man.
it now. Dude, I suck at it.
See, I'm so good at Mario. I know how far he has to jump and how long he'll slide.
Yeah.
So in my chain chomp level, I have like a block of ice, and you jump and you slide, and if you don't time the jump right, you'll fall off the edge. Yeah, you got to be good to beat my levels. Mine are hard. I love that game. Anyways,
Ryan, what are we doing first?
I don't.
Hey, let's do DVDs and Blu-ray releases.
Okay.
Because I know you want to get to that quick.
Sure.
Ignition sequence start.
Whoa, DVDs. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That pause right there, that's where you put in the audio thing. Right?
Yeah.
Where it goes, whoa, DVDs. Yeah, baby.
That's what it is.
does now.
Woo, DVDs.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
baby.
Man.
Yeah, like not even Blu-rays, just the
was
the
gonna-
DVDs.
I was gonna chastise you for like drawing attention to the silence because of course the audience didn't hear that. But now I'm so glad.
Well, no, I was just putting two and two together in my head right here in real time.
I've been trying to find a new DVD and Blu-ray release intro, so now I'm gonna go play with that.
I
was
mean,
great.
if you can, like, even if like the laughter is over it, fucking just put it in there. It doesn't matter.
No, he's gonna add, explosions and
Oh yeah, all right.
It'll
So
happen.
Pixels is the big release of this week.
this week?
Yeah, that's this week.
Did you guys see it?
yeah, I thought
You
it was
you
fun.
did. You were telling me that it's like god awful and shitty. and
No,
bad.
I didn't. No, I
What'd
did
you
not
tell me?
say that.
I
No.
forget. I don't listen to you.
It is surprisingly fun.
Okay.
There's a lot of dumb shit in that movie, but I laughed a lot.
Sure.
It's not terribly smart, but it's fun.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. You want to see some dudes in cars drive away from giant Pac-Mans?
I did think like that shot of that Pac-Man like eating through that fire truck over like looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more of
It-
that.
It's fun, man. I think it's a pretty fun movie.
Cool.
Yeah,
Maybe I should see Pixels.
I think you'd have fun watching it.
Yeah, I agree. Mulholland Drive is going to get a Criterion edition.
People classify that as a horror film.
I classify that as boring as shit.
You too?
Yeah, it's dumb.
The only thing that perks me up in that, Naomi Watts' naked body.
Dang, yes, I could have guessed that.
She's pretty.
The Holy Grail limited edition Castle Catapult gift set thing of Monty Python and the Holy Grail is coming out this week. I haven't
Yeah?
seen that movie in a long time. I was a big fan when I was like in middle school. Huge fan of that
I think
movie.
most people are, and then they grew up and like, oh, that movie's okay.
Sure,
It's
fine.
It's good. I saw
it's
it
straight
once.
good.
And I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember thinking it was really funny.
I just wore myself out. I probably watched it like 20, 30 times in a year.
Wow.
And so
Sure.
after a couple of years of doing that, you're like, I want to go watch a different movie.
I would too.
So, but I haven't seen it in a very long time, so I got to check that out. The Gift, Jason Bateman's The Gift.
Highly, like rated.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
people are talking
think it's
about it a lot.
really
I
good.
got to check it out. I know it was at the Alamo for quite a while. Southpaw is coming out this week. Did you see Southpaw? Who
No.
was it saw Southpaw? Did Brad?
I don't
Somebody
know.
saw. Oh, Zach saw it.
Yeah.
I think he said it was disappointing. I don't know. It looked disappointing. My Fair Lady is getting a Blu-ray.
I know. I
edition.
really kind of want to get that.
Yeah.
Look how
Haven't seen
beautiful.
it
I
in a
love the
long time.
cover to it.
Oh, it's great. It's really great.
Who doesn't love freaking Audrey Hepburn?
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
Frank Zappa's Roxy the Movie.
Does anyone else think Frank Zappa's overrated? Is it just me?
Every fan, his prisoner. Every guitar, his slave. It's a pretty cool cover. And there's this like screaming, this relaxed looking screaming lady in a bikini, just looking at his giant head. Weird. Whatever. Check that out. Here's the big one though.
Just making sure you're not lying to me again.
Collector's edition of Army of Darkness.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how excited I am. And one, because is the price still $17.99?
Yes.
It dropped from
No.
$30.
$17.98.
Nice. It dropped from $30 when I pre-ordered it when it was first announced down to $17. And I almost ordered it from Scream Factory because they give it to you a week early. I'm like, man, maybe if it's ordered enough on Amazon, it'll drop really low. And I'm glad I did.
Well, do they only charge you like once it ships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what they do, because I have Prime, if it drops really low, they'll give me the lowest price.
Yeah.
So, even if like tomorrow it goes skyrockets up, it'll still be $17.99 or $98 or whatever it is for me. But no, I've been reading reviews of it and I'm super excited because one, I finally get Army of Darkness is arguably, maybe not even arguably, it's probably the movie that's been re-released most on DVD.
Yeah,
And-
I mean, second will only be to like Night of the Living Dead, and that's because it's ripped off.
Exactly. And I've never seen it, but there's an international cut that has footage that people on this side of the pond have never seen. And the Scream Factory Blu-ray is actually 3 Blu-rays, and it has 4 different cuts of the film. And they went through and restored the international cut and the director's cut. The only one that I think they said is restored, but it has a lot of issues, is there's a TV version of it that is kind of probably hard to get a good working print of anyways.
Yeah, but you would want it to.
But they upgraded it, but
You would want it to look like it was on TV anyway.
yeah.
The TV is.
And then they have a new hour-and-a-half documentary, and they ported over all the special features that have been on all the DVDs.
Even all that good stuff from the Screwhead edition?
Yes.
Oh, good.
And the only bummer is Sam Raimi's not involved,
Oh.
but
So there's not like new him talking?
there is but I will say they did port over the great commentary with him and Bruce Campbell and his brother Ivan, who wrote the script from the director's cut. That commentary makes me laugh every time I listen to it, because they're really funny. So I'm really excited because finally someone is putting out a 3-disc version of that they should. Now, if they only make the original Evil Dead cool on Blu-ray, I'd be really happy.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So yeah, 3 discs.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Cool. Breeders, which is a crazy looking
the
horror
cover's
movie
awesome.
thing. Yeah, the cover's cool. There's this woman and she's screaming and some kind of weird mouthy tooth thing with a weird gross eye is coming out of her face. And the tagline is, "They get under your skin," because they had all of 13 seconds to come up with their tagline. So there you go. There's Breeders. Next up on the whole bunch of re-release weird stuff, Kinjit, Forbidden Subjects with Charles Bronson. Desire, Temptation, Revenge.
Huh?
Not the best looking cover. How about Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back? Which
Made
actually,
for TV.
Yeah, I love that title.
Oh no, it's cool.
Have you ever seen it?
No,
Oh. It's just a car and there's a bunch of fire in the background.
I don't watch TV movies.
So like Brink, like things like that.
Yeah.
Never really.
Lauren Graham apparently is making her comeback in Max, which from the cover here is a
That's the dog movie. Remember
Yes.
You don't remember that movie from like a few months ago?
No.
Where it was the dog with the Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
oh, yeah.
he dies and then the dog befriends the little boy.
Yes.
It's like his brother.
The
Yeah, that's
tagline here is best friend, period. Hero, period. Marine, period. And it's like the most stoic looking. Oh, that movie just looks like it's going to get under my skin. Messenger of Death with Charles Bronson. The vigilante is back
I love that
with a
name.
vengeance. Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's just him. There's a truck in the background. It's just him with a shotgun walking.
Dude, what if he like broke into like, let's say a drug dealer's house?
Great.
And they're just like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm here to deliver you a message. What is it? Death. And he shoots him. That would be awesome.
Oh, I should have seen that one coming. Oh, man. All right. Here's one that I honestly like. I've just always loved this poster and I've never seen it, but the cover for this movie. So I may just have to check this out, but, them! Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Is
That
getting
has to be
its
from the 50s.
Oh,
My dad loves
yeah,
that
yeah,
movie.
yeah. No, it's an old like composite where
What was that,
insects
man?
are attacking a town.
My dad loves that movie.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves them.
Sweet.
It's a classic like monster
I
horror
thought
film.
so. It sounds familiar.
It's just giant like ants.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll see it.
Right?
I've seen it. It's oh.
See, I love those kind of old monster movies though, because there's some charm to them, you know?
Sure, yeah, like them has charm for sure. And, like it's like it's way outdated,
hopefully there's like, is there some hunky dude who has to
I
save
don't remember. I saw
like
it
the
so long ago.
the lady and she gets kidnapped and oh man, that'd be sweet by the ants and he has to fight them by punching them. I don't know.
All right, next we've got Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Donald Sutherland in Dr. Terror's House of Horrors.
Ooh, terror and horror in the same title.
Yeah, so there is no tagline on this one, but there should be because he's shuffling decks or he's shuffling cards. So there needs to be some. I think we can come up with a good tagline for this. It's got to be like, you know,
You've been dealt death.
oh, you've been dealt a terrifying hand.
There we go. Dan, your turn.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
I don't have one.
Something about there not being anything good in the cards for you. No?
I don't like that.
No?
No, just fucking skip me. No.
Oh man. All right. And finally one. So this is a movie that I swear I've came out of a fever dream when I was a kid. I've seen this movie, but it's always been like, I would never want to tell anybody like, hey, do you remember that movie? Because I'm sure they would have just looked at me and slapped me and said like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Robert Townsend's The Meteor Man.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why did you
Add
just
in
slap
sound
me? Right. I remember seeing this movie.
I've never seen it, but it was advertised on the back of my comics a lot.
Was it really?
Yeah.
It seems like insane. You don't know anything about it, right, Dan?
No, not at all.
It's like
Black Superman.
yeah, but he gets hit with, he's like in an alley and he gets hit with a meteor and somehow it gives him it's written by Robert Townsend too. Let's see if I can get a summary here. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. Oh yes. A high school teacher. Wait, sorry, I didn't set it up.
Make sure you play the Superman theme over this.
Oh, that's a good idea. A high school teacher from a troubled inner city, Washington, D.C. neighborhood. Sorry, they put a period in there, so it threw me off. From a troubled inner city, Washington, D.C. neighborhood becomes a super-powered hero and takes on the gang that has been terrorizing his streets.
Wait, English major, so they put a period when they're abbreviating District of Columbia. I just want to make sure that we...
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, let me try this one. This is a better synopsis. How about that? Jefferson Reed is a mild-mannered school teacher in Washington, D.C. Here, I just want to point out that here they also used the period, the period from D.C. They used that to also end the sentence.
Really?
Yeah. He has just discovered that his backbone and it. What? No.
And
I'm literally reading it as it's written. He has just discovered that his backbone and it's stronger than steel. Jefferson would rather run than fight until he's hit by a strange green meteor that gives him superhuman abilities. And when a gang led by a powerful drug lord begins terrorizing his family and neighbors, Jefferson has no choice but to don his homemade spandex suit and take it on in a war of cunning wit and super-powered, super-modeling prowess to save his hood.
Who wrote that?
That was
English as their second language?
That was written by Anthony Pereira.
Pereira?
Yeah, I won't read his. No, it's Pereyra. I won't read his email address as that seems to be unfair.
Pereira.
Pereira.
Yep. English
Anyway,
second
that's
language.
Meteor Man. Don't check it out because I don't remember it being any good. And that's what's coming out on Blu-ray
Wow.
this week. Ryan, what are we doing next?
Movie news.
Cool.
In other news, the Prime Minister of Sweden visited Washington today, and my tiny little nipples went to France.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
I do the cha-cha like a sissy girl.
It's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson! Everyone, it's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson!
I like-a do da cha-cha. I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about Harry Potter. What's this Harry Potter thing that's happening? They're making more movies?
No, the J.K. Rowling wrote a stage play for the 8th chapter in the Harry Potter saga called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Yes.
And it takes place 19 years after the Deathly Hallows, and it stars Harry Potter's son.
Oh, okay.
So it's the next thing, and it's a play.
Okay.
So it looks fun.
Are they gonna make a movie of it?
I'm sure they will.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well,
cool.
they are filming that Harry Potter or Fantastical Beasts
Beasts
and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they will.
I just keep seeing like little pieces of news about it, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm confused.
Yeah, so it's exciting. I mean, it's a fun world. There's lots to explore. I know James doesn't like it, but James is stupid.
I just think that the films are bad.
Yeah, like Harry Potter's cool. Like it's there's interest there.
Sure.
So yeah,
I just think you deserve a better film.
I
think once you get to like 3 and 4, the films are better. For sure.
I think the third one.
I think that's kind of when they start going really downhill. The last, well, I didn't see the second one. The last one is just dog shit.
3 and 4 is when the kids just start wearing like street clothes half the time.
Yeah.
And not just robes all day long.
Yeah. Which I was all down for the robes. I'm a big fan of robes.
Okay.
I own my own robe.
I don't.
James doesn't deserve to talk about Harry Potter.
All right, moving on. We got a full trailer for Jessica Jones this week.
It's awesome.
It looks awesome. Man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes out pretty soon.
Yeah. Good. Man.
Jessica Jones is a cool character.
Yeah, it looks pretty great. If you don't know, she's got superpowers, but she doesn't really use them anymore. And there's some mystery there, and she solves crimes.
One of my favorite stories with her is in a miniseries called The Pulse. And she's an investigative reporter, and she figures out that Norman Osborn's the Green Goblin, and it's really awesome.
Cool.
Written by Brian Michael Bendis and drawn by Mark Bagley. So if you want to read a cool story.
Good news, everybody. There will be no high heels in Jurassic Park 2, but no word on whether or not there will be any kind of plot.
Wow, James, way to work on that burn for the last 30 minutes. I still think we saw a different movie.
No, did you see the scene on the
when
train?
When we get to what we've been watching, I'll talk about it again.
When
we get to what we've been watching, we'll talk about it again.
And they cry, and then that scene has no repercussions in the movie. Hey, this is monumental news, honestly.
Uh-oh.
This seems like a tectonic shift to some degree in television. The Mythbusters, after 14 seasons, has been canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I know that like a year or two ago they went back to just Adam and Jamie. They got rid of the, Grant and Carrie and Tori and Tori. And I like all them
Tori.
too, but man,
I love Tori.
people love Mythbusters. What the hell?
No, you love Carrie.
Is
you
it
don't
Carrie?
love Tori.
Which one's Tori?
Tori's the one no one loves.
Tori's the
kind of dumb guy. Like Grant is the Asian dude who's awesome.
How'd I mix those up? Carrie's the chick?
Carrie's
Yeah.
the chick.
Yeah, she's hot.
right. No, I know.
Well, who's Tori then?
Tori's just the other dude.
The other dude? Oh yeah, Grant's cool.
Tori's perfectly fine too.
Oh no, Tori's obnoxious.
No, he's not. He's nice.
Tori's he's fine. Yes, he's fine. Yes.
So what's with that? Like, it's just like they can't like add space or like all this other like people.
I don't know.
love
I don't think they
Mythbusters.
even know because I think they found out after the news broke.
Yeah.
I remember reading something on Hollywood Reporter about it. So
That sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been on for a very long time. I can tell you I haven't watched it in a long, long time. And I was a big fan of it, but after a certain time, I think, you probably start looking at declining ratings and just declining,
And Discovery needs
exposure
more
in general.
shows like My 600-Pound Life or something.
If you want to go look on,
Television's the worst.
if you want to go look on YouTube for my favorite Mythbusters segment, it's the one I have no idea what it would be called, but it's the one where they're trying to prove that if you like driving a car 50 miles an hour and you shoot a thing at the back of it 50 miles an hour, it would just drop straight down. So they build this cannon in the back of a truck and they are trying to shoot like a soccer ball out of it.
Sweet.
And it takes them like 40, 50 tries and they nail it. And that soccer ball like just plops out of the cannon and drops straight down. It doesn't move an inch. It's pretty dope.
Neat.
So
Rob Marshall got on the horn this week and started talking about his Mary Poppins film, which he does not want you to call a remake. Refers to it as more of an extension, which I think is really great. It's sort of what we were talking about.
I heard they want to make Emily Blunt Mary Poppins, and I'm totally down with that.
Right. And I think when we had talked about that a few weeks ago, you had said, hey, there's a lot of Mary Poppins out there. They don't have to necessarily tell the same, and like make a remake of the original. And it sounds like that's exactly what they're doing.
They should, because I think there's 6 books?
Yeah.
7 books?
Something like that.
Yeah, just tell a different story. Because the thing is with Mary Poppins is it's not spoiled. She's actually not like, I don't know how to describe it. But even though she's a nanny, she's really like a good witch.
Right.
And so she can be anybody.
Right.
And
100%.
And I don't want them to tell the reboot it, because then I have Mary Poppins and I have Saving Mr. Banks like as great companion pieces.
Yeah. Like
And-
I have it.
And that's why
good.
it needs to be there.
Yeah. Agreed. Hey.
Remember when Walt Disney goes and talks to P.L. Travers at her London house, and it's amazing? Because that scene made me cry.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Hey.
Tom Hanks.
We got a trailer for Star Wars this week.
Did we?
We did. How you guys feel?
Pretty stoked.
I'm pretty excited.
I still have to watch it.
There's a big rumor
Yes.
that
Well, we're going to talk about it anyway.
the bad guy is actually Luke Skywalker. But didn't they say Kylo Ren is played by Adam Driver anyways? And there's a shot in the trailer where they show Kylo Ren with the lightsaber.
cross guard, yeah.
But he doesn't have his hood on. You can tell it's like Adam Driver. Like,
Yeah. I think that they will certainly mess with Luke Skywalker a little bit as far as plot is concerned, but no, I don't like that. That seems so on the nose and dumb, and it's so antithetical to a lot of the stuff he's been doing. I think what's happening there
Explain
is
what
that people.
antithetical means.
So they've been pretty. They're trying to do a lot of fan service, and they're trying to make us all feel very good about what they're doing. Which means that if they went and said, "Hey, Luke Skywalker's a bad guy," like that goes against all of the "Hey, we really want to make fans happy" that they've been preaching, right?
Yeah.
And at the same, I think what's happening here is that unlike his previous films, J.J. Abrams, when he set out on this one, sort of said like, "Hey, I'm not going to do my normal mystery box, not tell you anything, that kind of thing. Like, I'm going to talk about this, and you're going to see stuff up front, and you're going to like get behind the scenes footage and that kind of stuff." And that's exactly what he's done. I think that what people are probably doing is going like, "Oh, JJ's hiding something from us, and it's going to be huge." It's like, Khan is Kylo Ren, and Star Trek takes place in Star Wars. And, like,
Oh, dude, if the Enterprise did show up. Oh, shit. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they're filming Into Darkness, and the darkness is actually the dark side. And
I'm down for that. Yeah. Like, then Star Trek people show up and they're just like, "We just like to talk about science and solve a mystery in space."
you know what I am down for, though, is that Daisy lady is like a Jedi. I'd love to see a kick-ass female Jedi.
Yeah.
And take on the dark side. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. I just want a fun film.
I think it's going to be.
Yeah, like, I think the trailer looks badass. There's a shot of Kylo Ren swinging his cross guard that kind of looks like he's swinging it like a big
old broadsword. Okay.
And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be right.
That's what you kind of you wanted from the beginning.
It's the only thing I'm hanging my hat on. It's really the only. Everything else, I just want a fun movie. The one thing it's like in Mass Effect 2 or 3 when I was like, Liara needs to be pregnant by the end of the game. Like, that's what I needed, and I didn't ever get that. In this case, like, I need him to swing that sword like a broadsword.
That's 10 years old.
Well,
is it 10 years yet?
Hey, that was my story. 10 years ago, you didn't have to have sex with Liara. I just did because I wanted them to have kids. That's what I did, and then it never happened. And then I died sad in space. And then, like, she went to a planet where there were some trees or some shit, and she was half a robot. I don't understand that game. That game is such a mess. Anyway, I just really want to see Kylo Ren swing that thing like a broadsword.
So I'm interested. How much money do you think that's going to make opening weekend?
Oh, all of it? I think all of it. I think it's going to make all the money.
I think it's going to get close to 300 million.
Yeah, man.
Especially after what we heard from the Alamo guys today.
Oh, what did you? Oh, about the
how long
pre-orders?
it's been sold out for.
Yeah.
And this is how ingenious it is. I think they realize this with a few movies, that if you release it in December and there's nothing else, it plays for a really long time.
Yeah, it eats all of January.
Yep.
And it will. I'll see this movie a few times in January, I'm sure, provided that it's awesome. But everything about this trailer screams, this is gonna be awesome. Like, it just looks fun. It looks like a space adventure, which is what I want. You know?
Mm-hmm. I want it to be like, episode 3, really. I just love doing that to James.
Just chock full of bullshit dialogue. There is more good dialogue
Right.
in this trailer than in all of episode 3.
What it's cool though is when it's spewed by Harrison Ford when he's saying the Jedi, the dark side, it's all true. Yeah, man, that's awesome because it comes from Harrison Ford.
Yeah, man. I like the shot of Finn fighting Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Man. This
Yep.
movie looks great. Sorry, I'm just looking at stills of it now.
Just stills of the trailer.
Just stills.
That's all you need.
Just stills. I don't need nothing, man. I'm just gonna sit here and be like, "Hey, look, Star Wars looks cool." I even think that they got Leia to look real pretty
Yeah.
in that one shot. Like, she looks good.
Yeah.
She
Good
looks
job,
real
Carrie
good.
Fisher.
Yeah.
Good job, Carrie Fisher.
No, I read that
Holding it down.
she lost like 50 pounds before she started that.
Yeah. I mean, she looks really
She
good.
does.
She looks like the best she's looked in years. It's great.
It's good for her.
Yeah, it is. Unless I missed anything, I think that's news.
Now, a lot of people say they live by the book, but they don't live by the book. Can you live by the book? I guess I have to. You picked us up, right? That's from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where Jay tries to eat out Carrie Fisher, who's a nun. You know what's better? If you actually just play the scene, and then it'll be funnier.
We've played it in previous episodes. I don't think I need to now. I have it like in some hard drive somewhere. I could easily have thrown it in. Didn't. Just to leave you out there.
Dick.
Something you have to go find for me.
What?
Somewhere on your computer is a voice clip of you saying
Penguins of Madagascar.
Penguins of Madagascar. I walked into James's room a few months ago. He's editing the podcast.
This is like a year ago now.
Yeah, it was maybe a while ago, and all just the first thing I hear is Penguins of Madagascar, and I told him, "Fucking stop what you're doing, cut that out. Like, take 5 minutes for me, cut that out, send it to me. I want that to be my text tone or something." And he never did it.
Yeah, I wanted to. I just forgot to.
He even said that he
I
would.
bet I
do
could
it.
figure it out. Whatever the week,
It's all right.
whatever
I have
episode.
this amazing interview with horror icon Tony Todd that I've never heard either.
Oh, damn. There's a,
I feel like that's
it's
like that
what-
one goes pretty deep. I don't
No,
know.
it's pretty deep. Whatever week that came out on DVD, the week before that is the episode
I
that's
can
on.
I can
probably.
go figure that out. I have Google and computer, so
I'll figure it out.
you know.
Anyway, that is news.
Cool. So let's play the box office game.
Show me the money! He's the largest black man! I love black people!
I don't even know what comes out next week. Oh, actually, I do.
I don't have a fucking
Well, I know what we're gonna see, and James is gonna be really happy about it.
Good.
Next week we're seeing Scouts versus Zombies.
Wait, I'm going to be happy about that?
Randy sent me a message. He wants to be on the episode.
Oh, now I'm happy about it. All right, cool. Down. All right.
And that's one of the movies that made other movie theaters mad because AMC made a deal where it's going to be on VOD in like a month.
Oh, okay.
So AMC is like the only one showing it.
Sorry, AMC. Learn to compete. Or I guess the other ones.
Yeah.
Regal and Cinemark. Real quick, do you realize that last week Goosebumps was the biggest movie?
Yeah, I told you it was going to be.
Oh.
No one listens to me. I swear to God, no one listens to me on my own fucking podcast.
Did you see Goosebumps?
No, I wanted to, but last week I was so busy that it sucked. That I was surprised I was able to get 2 movies in.
It's like PG.
Yeah, I heard it's not bad though.
I read a lot of those books. I don't know.
Oh, I did too. I used to have every time my school had a book fair, I'd always buy one.
Sure.
And I loved the Night of the Living Dummy. I think they made 3 of them, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And I loved to see, this is how much of a nerd I was. I don't know if you guys had it when, because you're younger than me, but when I was in school, they used to give you I don't know if it's once a month or every couple months, is basically a newsprint that had books you could order from Scholastic.
Yeah, like Book Fair. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Totally.
And so you could always order them. And I always order them, and I'd always just get the Goosebumps book, and I love to see what colors the Goosebumps logo was in and stuff.
Sure.
And
Yeah, because everyone was, this one's red and orange, this
Yeah.
one's blue. Ooh.
I probably read about 30 or 40 of those books. Anyways, James,
Yeah,
that's my Goosebumps story.
No, I was just bringing it up because I saw it on there and I was like, okay, whatever. So what are we thinking is gonna do
What comes
well?
out next week? I can't remember.
It's like there's like nothing.
It's just Scouts versus the Zombies.
I think it's let's see. Our Brand is Crisis.
Oh, that's a Sandra Bullock movie.
And
You know something interesting about that film? The lead was originally George Clooney's, and he gave it to her because she said there's no good female lead movies that she wanted to do. So George Clooney's like, hey, I have this one if you want to do it. And that's how she got that role. Because George Clooney agreed with her.
because that's the only way that Sandra Bullock can get cast.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so then,
Everybody's making room for.
well, I mean,
Steve
there's,
Jobs.
there's been 8 movies that have come out in the last 2 weeks. Maybe they're
I know.
getting it to breathe.
They really should have
because
spaced them out more.
the week after that is Peanuts and Spectre, so
Oh, so like Spectre's only like 2 weeks away?
yeah.
Shit.
Gee, what's wrong with Daniel Craig?
I don't know. He's
been
just being
talking
an ass.
so much
lately.
shit about James Bond lately.
Yeah.
And really, dude, you're supposed to be promoting this. I guess he doesn't want to do it anymore.
No.
What,
Hey,
like,
well,
what is,
He said he'd rather slit his wrist than be James Bond again.
What?
So he'd rather commit suicide.
okay. So he's certainly going way too far. But I will ask you this: name me the last non-James Bond Daniel Craig movie you saw.
Die Another Day. No, I mean, what's the one with? No.
No. The last movie Daniel Craig was in that wasn't James Bond.
I know that's what I mean. What was the one with Pierce Brosnan that has Die in it?
Die Another Day.
Oh, Die Another Day.
Die Another Day.
No. I'm not asking for a James Bond film.
No, that's the last one I saw.
No, I'm asking for a film with Daniel Craig in it
Oh, Daniel Craig.
that does not have James Bond in it.
It does watching Road to Perdition count.
Well, yeah, like
No.
either that or like Munich or like Layer Cake or, I mean, yeah, but that was all like
Forever ago.
06, so.
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Why? I don't get why people. So
I'm just saying his career has actually gone downhill.
Yeah.
Even though he is James Bond.
So you're
he
trying to
is-
make an excuse for him for being an asshole?
No. He shouldn't be an asshole. I'm saying that there is a good reason for him to be bitter. Is that a lot of times, like Matt Damon can go do Jason Bourne movies and then escape and go do something else.
Is that really
But-
other people's fault, or is it Daniel Craig's fault because he's an asshole?
I think that a person might blame it on that, but he'd be wrong because he was famous before he was James Bond.
Yeah.
Unlike Pierce Brosnan. Now I'd have to go back because I was pretty young, but I don't know that I really knew who Pierce Brosnan was before James Bond because it wasn't like Dante's Peak and that kind of stuff after
I certainly
GoldenEye.
did not.
Yeah,
So-
I
Yeah.
certainly didn't.
But the thing is, too, you have to make better career choices because
Agreed.
the movies that he was in, was it The Glass House or whatever it was called? It's some stupid horror film. You got to make better career choices because you can take someone, I don't know,
He's been in
you
a
can
lot
say
of
Matt
garbage.
Damon, who
Yeah.
does these kind of movies, and then he says, oh, you know what, I'm actually going to do this one. And you know what? It might be because of his attitude, and people don't want to
It
work with
might
him because
be.
he's a fucking asshole.
Cowboys versus Aliens.
Oh, yeah, there we
That's
go.
not really the last one. I'm just trying to think of one, but yeah, I'm just saying he's done a lot of garbage. Agreed. But I could see how he might be somewhat bitter. But yeah,
Bet the $20
dumb.
million paychecks make up for it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, who gives a shit? Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, that movie's
Oh,
good.
sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that genuinely is the last non-Bond other than
That had to have been right around Quantum of Solace, like right in that time frame, right? It was definitely after Casino Royale.
Oh yeah.
I think it was in between Quantum of Solace and Skyfall,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, because Solace is 2008, Dragon Tattoo's 11.
Shit, yeah. Okay.
So 11 he was on fire. So we had Dragon Tattoo, Cowboys and Aliens, Adventures of Tintin.
All
Because
underperformed.
he's Red Rackham in there. So yeah, he was doing a lot of stuff in 2011.
And Skyfall was 12?
Skyfall was 12.
Yeah.
And then he's literally not done anything since. Like some voice acting or some superheroes unite for BBC Children in Need. Like some bullshit there.
Like, again, I don't know why that's funny to me.
I
but
think
it's
all those
hilarious.
movies though underperformed. Cowboys and Aliens,
Yeah.
Dragon Tattoo, and
Yep.
Tintin.
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And not his fault.
not his fault. I mean, and
Dragon Tattoos, lots of rape.
Yeah, that
Adventures of
movie's-
Tintin, nobody in America understands.
that movie's great. That movie's great.
And Cowboys and Aliens, people
okay.
are, yeah, it's a fun movie and people misjudge it.
Yeah. And again, make better career choices.
Agreed. Or just work more. He hasn't done anything in 4 years.
Well, how do you repair your image if, people are like, oh, you're James Bond? I mean, I'd say
there's
you go
so much garbage out there being made.
But that's what I mean. You go the Ben Affleck route. Remember when he was making shit movies and everyone was shitting on him? He's like, fuck it. I'll make movies that I want to make and I'll be behind the camera. And I slowly transition myself from being behind the camera, making serious movies and good movies to being an actor that people take seriously again. And it paid off.
Well, I don't mean like go do, Armageddon. What I mean is like, or Sum of All Fears. What I mean is like, usually when an actor does that or they get typecast, they'll do indie movies. Like that guy could get a role.
That's what I'm saying.
That guy's
That's what
famous
Ben
enough.
Affleck
He
did,
could
though.
go pull, right.
He went in behind the camera.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he made roles for himself in The Town.
Right.
And Argo. And then people are like, oh, he's awesome.
Right.
Again. And
Right.
so then he did Gone Girl. And now he's fucking Batman.
Yeah.
So you can do it.
I'm just saying, yeah, but even without like,
Call me Daniel Craig. I'll
he's
cancel
not,
your career.
he's not that, he's not that in the woods or anything like that. Like nobody speaks ill of him until now when he starts shooting his mouth off. Like now he's going to have a hard time getting cast. Because everybody's going to be like, great. It's kind of like Josh Trank, right?
Yeah.
Josh Trank will never work again. So the more you shoot your mouth off, the more people don't want to work with you. So it's too bad.
And I've heard he's an asshole.
I was looking forward to Layer Cake too.
I've read stories on the Hollywood Reporter about him not being a nice guy.
Yeah, that's too bad. Be nice.
Like Bruce Willis.
Behave.
That's what Austin
Behave.
Powers would say.
Yeah. What are we doing next? What are we on?
I don't even know.
Oh, we were doing stats and it all fell apart.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
New,
Because we don't know what's going to win next week.
What we've been
Too-
watching?
Sure.
Okay. Ugh.
Oh, we got movie side!
This is my boomstick.
I love being a turtle! You're getting your wishes, so sit down!
Great Scott! The line must be drawn here.
Damn you all to hell! And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Now you're getting nasty.
This week I didn't watch too much, but I watched, I guess I kind of did. I watched some weird stuff. My wife is a big American Horror Story fan.
Yeah.
And so the new one is Hotel.
Right.
And it stars Lady Gaga. And it's,
Did she play an alien?
no, she plays a vampire.
Okay.
And, Wes Bentley, I think that's his name. He's the bad guy in Ghost Rider.
Sure.
I think that's him. Anyways, so in it,
I literally just got Ghost Rider and Drive Angry confused. And I was about to be like, no, that's Billy Burke. And I was like, oh, no.
Anyways, so in it, she plays some vampire named the Countess, and she runs a hotel, and she has people come over, and she kills them, I guess. I don't know, but the writing is so stilted, and the way they shoot the series, it really started bugging me.
Yeah.
During Freak Show, and my wife likes it, and that's cool. I mean, I know a lot of people like it, but they do a lot of Dutch angles, and I call it the Tom Hooper problem, where it's really weird
too
close.
Yeah.
But then they try to make it creepy by just turning it 45 degrees, and to me it's just obnoxious. And so in this one, not quite as much, but I will say for an FX show, there's literally a part in it where Lady Gaga wants to convert this one dude to a vampire, and she does, and then all they do is like have sex for like 5 minutes. But there's a part where he's like doing her from behind in the bathtub, and you see her him pounding her butt, and I'm like, whoa, this is on FX? And I mean, it's not like, oh, you can just see like sheets covering it. No, she's in a bathtub, and you see, but besides the point, the show's not good. Because there's this part where,
Even with some butt pounding, it's not good.
so there's a part where, I
Who could have
guess,
predicted?
here's the thing is that I was so bored with it that I started busting out my iPad and doing shit. And then I watched some more, and there's a little boy in it who's dead, but his sister saw him in this hotel. And so he, she comes home and she says, oh, I saw our dead brother. And then the acting by Wes Bentley, he's like, he's dead. He's dead. It's so like melodramatic and horrible that I look over at my wife and I don't say anything because I've been in trouble before when I say shit during our shows. And I look over at her and she's just like watching it like enthralled. And I don't know if I feel bad for my wife because this is what she thinks is good, or I don't know. It's bad. It's so poorly acted, and I don't know if it's poorly acted or the writing is so piss poor, and then the camera work is so piss poor. It looks great. I mean, it looks beautiful, but
do you think? Have you always had this opinion about American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really liked the opening sequence of the first season, and then that show just became garbage.
Yeah.
And then the second season I love. But I love it because it's like it gave up, right? So the first season was like trying to be a good horror show, but it was just so convoluted and dumb that it all fell apart. So in the second season, they just lean into the convoluted nature, right? So there's aliens, there's like weird slashers going on, like it's just crazy. They end up, and then in season 3, like you got undead Kathy Bates, who's been buried in the ground for like 120 years, comes out and she's crazy and getting tortured by some other voodoo lady, and like it's just full of nonsense and it's just way over the top and it's so silly that it's kind of entertaining. Is this like that?
No, the problem is I think they want to treat themselves seriously and it's just not good. And the show looks great, but now I think it's going for shock. Now we have Lady Gaga on there, and actually she's not bad in it, but we have Lady Gaga on there. We're going to push the envelope. And I feel that way a lot about FX shows ever since they got, I don't know if in trouble's the right word, but kind of chastised for the Sons of Anarchy sex scene those like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, we're just going to keep on pushing it. We're going to keep on pushing it. And that's fine. I don't care that much about pushing the envelope, but when it doesn't really service the story, I don't care. You know, why am I seeing them having sex in a bathtub? I don't care.
So let me ask, especially because one of the movies that I saw that you saw last week has like a sex scene that is actually an important film, like a really intelligent sex scene.
Exactly.
Anyway, because there's
the thing. In that film, does it drive the plot?
It drives character. I don't know that I've ever seen
a character in the film.
Yeah.
And it pushes the plot forward.
It's really weird to say this, but the sex scene in Crimson Tide, in Crimson Peak, is one of the most intelligent sex scenes I've ever seen in a film.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But no, this does not push the story.
Yeah.
It's for shock because the vampire boyfriend Lady Gaga had before comes back and is jealous.
So there's a really important question and something that you haven't brought up yet, that if you say no to this question, then we can just move on because who the fuck cares? Is Jessica Lange in this show?
Yes.
Oh, good. Huh.
No. No.
Then why even make the season?
Kathy Bates, and who's the other?
She's the
lady?
Best thing about season 1 through 3. Why even make the show if you don't get her back?
Yeah, she's not. Sorry.
As you were talking, I was like, he hasn't brought up Jessica Lange. Why hasn't he brought up Jessica Lange?
Yeah, she's not. It's the other lady, not Kathy Bates, but who's the other? She's been in all of them.
Yeah. The other one. Yeah. I know.
She's actually a famous actress. I don't know why I can't remember her name right now.
Yeah.
So meh on Horror Story. The Walking Dead had maybe one of the best episodes I've seen in a long time.
Really?
It's called JSS. And did you watch the season premiere?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to catch up because I was behind.
Go ahead. The season premiere. Have you read the comics?
Yeah.
So, you know, the hordes of zombies where it's hundreds of zombies.
Right.
So in the season premiere, there's a rock quarry that's full of thousands of zombies and they're about to get out. So Rick says, we're going to herd them a certain way so they stay away from Alexandria. That's why the town's been safe for so long, because basically all these zombies are trapped in this rock quarry. So as the season premiere ends, a horn blares from Alexandria. So then the zombies start heading that way. And so you don't know why. So this episode actually takes place in Alexandria while Rick and everybody else is doing that. And it starts with Carol and the other ladies there, you know, arguing over like housewife stuff. And one of my favorite moments from last season is Carol is playing kind of this, oh, I'm an innocent housewife. I don't know how to use a gun. And everybody knows she's a total badass. And it's really chilling because there's this great scene where Carol is baking something and she looks out her window and one of the residents of Alexandria steps out her door and starts to smoke. And then like out of nowhere with no sound comes this dude and like chops her in half. And so they're under attack from the wolves. And so the whole episode is them fighting off the wolves, and Carl has like a badass moment in it. And, the opening is with this girl who came to Alexandria, and, her motto is JSS, just survive somehow. And it shows her eating a turtle raw, and it's just like a really cool scene, episode. So it's really strong. It's better than the season premiere. The season premiere was good, but this one is great character moments. So
is this season 5?
6.
I saw through, the last thing I saw was a little bit of the one with the town. And
yeah, that's season 5.
And the governor.
Oh, no,
no, he means the first time.
Oh, that's Woodsbury. So
Yeah.
season 2?
Yeah.
No, I saw like past the prison, and then like the one, but he's got his daughter kept up, and then there's jars with heads or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's Woodsbury. So
That's
season
still- that's
4,
two
season
and
3 or
three, yeah.
4.
Okay,
Yeah, it spans 2 and 3.
I'm very behind on that show.
Yeah,
Apparently.
but if you want to check it out, it's really good. So I always like when there's shocking moments, and I think The Walking Dead can still deliver those. The movies I watched this week is I watched Jurassic World. And what was really cool about it is I put it in, and my little boy, it started, and he like crawled up on my lap, and he just sat and watched the whole movie. He just sat in my lap, and every once in a while he'd turn back at me and go, like he'd ask me questions. I don't know if he was asking me about the movie, but it was super fucking cute. And he just sat there and watched the whole movie. And then when it was over and I put him down, he was going around going, rawr, rawr, and I thought it was a great dad moment where my son sat and watched a whole Jurassic World, dinosaur movie. And, it still has a plot.
You could
And,
have showed him Jurassic Park.
and James is just, cynical, and they didn't make the movie he wanted them to
No,
make.
it's not that at all. It's that movie is messy and poorly written and poorly acted, and the CG is constantly bad looking.
You know what's funny is you said that, and I watched the making of that, and those parts where you said CG is not CG. Just wanted to let
the
you know.
Raptors?
Yeah.
The Raptors are CG.
When their heads are in there, they added CG for the eyes, but everything else is actually there. I just wanted to let you know that it's not CG.
Hey, just for the record, I also fucking hated Jurassic World.
Good.
Yeah.
It was a mess. It was a
Movie is a mess.
Like I think it's a shame that it made so much money, because it just reinforces, let's just make shitty Hollywood big movies that don't really matter, and then we will just make more of those because that's what makes all the money.
Good.
I just wish that the scene on the train had anything to do with that movie. I wish that those kids
there was
divorced.
a part in the movie where she said, please don't leave those kids alone because, Gray is mean to Zach when they're alone, or Zach, I forget their kids'
I
names.
know. And then that's even inconsistent.
And then he's mean to him, and then he realizes he's being
Sometimes
mean to him. Well, realizes
sometimes
he's being mean to him,
sometimes he's
and
not.
he's like, maybe I shouldn't be mean to my little brother.
No, he never has that realization.
Yes, he
sometimes
does.
he's mean,
Watch the movie
sometimes he's
again.
not. I saw the movie, and the whole time I'm going like, wait, you said he was going to be mean. Why isn't he being mean? Oh, now he's being mean. Now he's not being mean. Now he's being mean again.
You had a nice older brother, James, okay?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't have an older brother that was mean all the
okay,
time.
all right. So how about this? Steve Jobs. No, I can't use that as an example yet. But like, no, there has to be some consistency. The script needed anyone to rewrite it. Anyone to rewrite that script. Like, it's so disappointing. Like, it just feels so rushed.
There's the part where like they all kind of meet up in the park, like halfway through, a little bit afterwards. The kids finally get back or whatever,
Yeah.
and Bryce Dallas Howard, is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She like saves everyone. She like saves Chris Pratt or saves the kids or whatever. Shoots a dinosaur or whatever it is.
Something like that.
I fucking no idea. And then like 8 seconds later, the kids are like, we want to go with Chris Pratt, not you, even though you were just a badass for the first time and the last time in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still think it's a fun movie.
She
really
is a
wanted
badass when she's standing there holding the flare.
Yeah. That part where she gets out the T-Rex, I love it.
That's cool. I like that part.
That's
of that
what I
movie.
wanted.
I like her at that moment in that movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, moving along, I just thought it was cute that my little boy watched the whole movie.
I like your kid a lot. He's
Yeah.
cool.
that's a legit thing to have had happen to you. though.
so-
That's good.
So Scream Factory last week released the Tales from the Crypt movies on Collector's Edition Blu-ray. And so I watched them, and yeah, they're still pretty fun. Demon Knight is still actually a pretty good horror film. It's like a horror comedy blend and campy, like Tales from the Crypt.
Is it Demon Knight with a K?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because the guy...
Cool with a K.
Yeah, so William Sadler's character in it is named Breaker, and his job is to hunt demons, so he's the Demon Knight.
Oh, okay.
And,
I was hoping it was going to be like like Black Knight, only with demons.
No.
It was like somebody goes back in time to fight demons in medieval times.
And I mentioned a few weeks ago on the podcast, I thought it was not original A Tales from the Crypt script, and it wasn't. The second film is Bordello of Blood, which they actually were going to make first, but then they realized it wasn't good. And so they made Demon Knight, and Billy Zane's in it, and he plays this crazy demon, and it's basically like a Night of the Living Dead with demons in it. It's pretty fun. And the Crypt Keeper's really funny in it. So if you want to see a demon siege movie, I can see Demon Knight. It's a lot of fun. I remember I was on my top 10 list from 95, and it's still one of my favorite films from that year because it's still pretty fun. The making of it's really good in it. Scream Factory always goes above and beyond on their special editions. Bordello of Blood stars Dennis Miller and Angie Everhart and Erica Laniak. And it's what it is. It's a brothel full of vampires. And the movie is meh. Like, it's not that great, but it still has that campiness to it that's pretty fun. Like when Dennis Miller and Chris Sarandon, who plays a preacher in it, are killing the vampires and they're playing Ballroom Blitz, is pretty fun. And they're all blowing up and shit. And then like the Angie Everhart's not very good in it. It's her first role and she's a supermodel. And so you're like, eh. And so I watched the special features and it was really cool because Bob Zemeckis wrote this script when he was in, like college, and it was a piece of shit. And the only way they could get him to stay at Universal is if they bought that script and made a film out of it. So they made Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what? Because he so loved that script?
Because they were going to take him to DreamWorks. And Universal did not want to lose him.
Oh, so because they bought a script of his,
yeah,
that meant that they were still working with him. He was
exactly
still
so
under
he
contract.
so he was an executive producer on it.
I thought it was like that was his bargaining thing. Was like, if you guys don't want me to leave, you have to buy this shitty old script of mine.
No, they're like, so if you buy, their basically says, if we buy the script, you'll stay with us. And I don't know what Bob Zemeckis made after that, but
yeah.
Anyways, so what's great about this making of on there, because the making of was more entertaining than the movie, is they had the producer, I forget his name, but he was really funny because he said, yeah, what can I say about Bordello of Blood? It's a piece of shit. And, it was horrible. And then they cut to Corey Feldman and he says, you know, I made friends with a lot of people when I work on movies. Bordello of Blood is the only movie set I didn't make any friends. And then they cut to, you know, whatever. And it comes back to him. And I guess, Dennis Miller refused to meet with Corey Feldman and have lunch and stuff. And then he also refused to come out of his trailer and shoot, coverage with other actors. Basically what that means, if people don't know. So if I'm like talking to you and, the camera's focused on me, you're still there, even though might be your shoulder or the top of your head or whatever it is. And he would refuse to come out and like help his fellow actors. And he rewrote the script to tailor his inflections and the way he talks. And so the actors like Corey Feldman would say, we would be on the set and there'd be the script supervisor lady reading Dennis Miller lines, and we had no idea how to act with it because he has a certain way of delivering things. And they said, so we had no idea how to play off it. And I was thinking about it and I was like, really? And so after the documentary, I went back and I just watched scenes with him in it, and he literally isn't in scenes. And I didn't even think about it before, but there'd be scenes with, let's say, Angie Everhart or Erica Laniak.
Yeah.
And it would just be them on screen. You wouldn't see like his head or anything. I was like, wow, what a fucking dick. And I guess he refused to do it unless they paid him $1 million. And that was, I don't know, probably a quarter of the budget. And he was just a dick. And then Corey Feldman tried to go out to lunch with Erica Laniak, who plays a sister in it, and she refused to do anything with him. Like, she wouldn't go out and have lunch or all that stuff.
That's horrible.
And he said that story, and then it went to her, and she said, yeah, I remember saying I wouldn't do anything with him. Like, wow. What a fucking bitch.
Man.
And here's the thing is, I've heard stories, from Blu-rays and DVD special features about how much of a dick Corey Feldman is.
Yeah.
And you see him on here, it's like, oh, maybe he's not so bad. And he's like reaching out, and these people, and then those stories are not only confirmed by the producers, the special effects guys, just saying it was like hell working with Dennis Miller. And then I went back and I looked at Dennis Miller's IMDb page. That's really the only movie he's in besides like cameos.
Yeah.
Because that got around. It's like, dude, he wouldn't even be in a movie that he got paid probably 6 times more than anybody else. He wouldn't even show up on set to say, say, "Hey, how are you?" Like, just would have nothing to do with them. And I guess when he went promoted the movie, he's like, "Yeah, it's a piece of shit," that kind of thing, like the Josh Trank.
Right.
And so the making of it was really fascinating.
Well, to be fair to Josh Trank said, "Hey, I was trying not to make it a piece of shit."
I guess so. and then Corey Feldman said a really funny, Angie Everhart was engaged to Sylvester Stallone at the time. Okay. And the reason she got that job is because Joel Silver was a producer and he made Fair Game with Cindy Crawford. And he said that supermodels being in movies is the next big thing. And so Sylvester Stallone says, put my fiance in it. And so they did, and she had no formal acting training before, and she's supposed to carry a movie, and it's not that good.
Man.
So yeah, so that was really fun. Like the making of it was really fun. I can't wait to listen to the commentary. I love making of where they're just like legit, not, "Oh, it was so much fun working with so and so," but when they tell you exactly what happened, it makes it more fun to watch making ofs. And that's what I watched this week.
Cool. Very cool.
Dan, what'd you watch this week? Fuck James.
So we, James and I went and saw Crimson Peak last night.
Nice.
Hey, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun-ish.
Yeah.
It's okay. I didn't love it. I liked the mood of it. I liked some of the kind of visuals of, that house and how kind of like grand, but also shitty it was. And, I thought that was pretty good. I'll let you talk about the spoon thing.
Oh, dude. So the sound design is like the best sound design I've heard in a long time. I just liked hearing that movie. And it came to like a culmination when there's the scene where she's hurt and she's in bed or she's sick and she's in bed and the sister comes in to give her the porridge. And so she's spooning the porridge and she's scraping the spoon across the cup. And it's just like, I was writhing in my chair because both the sound was such a horrible sound, but was also such a wonderful sound that I was like happy and annoyed at the same time.
It was done really well.
Oh, it was so good. And so many of the creepy noises in the background and just like, and which ones were recognizable and which ones weren't, because sometimes you'd hear a noise and be like, that's a certain kind of animal, or that's kids, it's kids playing, but in a way that sounds very specific. Like, like it just sounds really good. And yeah, I liked it. It wasn't as impactful as I think I was hoping it to be. I think I thought it was going to be, a bit more psychological, in a way.
Yeah, like I didn't really know what to expect out of it.
Yeah.
And what it was, I guess, is cool. I guess, I don't know.
I mean, if I were to be really harsh, I would say that what it really is sort of a gothic romance movie. And as such, it's not the best romance movie. But if it's not that, then it's a horror movie. And if it's a horror movie, I don't know that it's the best horror movie.
Right.
And that's me being like super critical of the film. Because I did enjoy it. I think it's pretty. I like the story it's telling. I just don't think, I feel like it's actually less than the sum of its parts. There's, the whole beginning sequence, like that story is really good of her deciding to marry this guy and then going away with him and, but I think the way that opening section, that sort of first act is chopped up and there's so much going on, so many different scenes where I feel like you could probably take that story and squeeze it into just a couple scenes and it would be a bit more effective because it was moving so much that I don't know that I really got to connect with those characters as much as I would want to. But then when we get to the house, then Edith just like becomes fantastic. And I already liked her. Like I liked her intelligence. I liked, she was very,
she was a little reserved, a little like
yeah, but like
a bit.
There's a lot to the line earlier where the other girls are like picking on her and saying that she's going to be their Jane Austen, and she's like, I'd rather be Mary Shelley. And that sort of like primes the character for you.
Yeah, for me, that's what the movie was. I think gothic romance is the best way to describe it because it is Frankenstein. It is.
Yeah. Oh, it's
because if you've read Frankenstein, it's not the horror film people think it is.
No.
It's Victor and his creation, but this one, she actually even tells you what's going to happen in it. In her story she writes.
Right, because she says straight up, like, it's a story with a ghost in it, and there's not supposed to be a romance, but there is one.
Exactly.
You know?
And I thought the movie was really good, and I think Tom Hiddleston is so good at playing the kind of bad guy.
Right.
There's something really charming about that man. And he's good looking and he has a cool English accent, but he plays that slyness so well. And even, this sounds really weird, but, after, Edith's, father dies and she opens that letter and it's read to her, I just love the way he's able to convey emotion when he's reading it. It's just a voiceover.
Yeah.
And, cause the scene before where he's really mean to her and then he tells her, cause you know that he's plotting to get her.
Right.
Cause you originally think he's the one who murdered her father.
Yeah.
Because he wants her to come there. And then you realize that he actually does love these women and his sister is really the crazy one.
Right.
And, that's why too, they're doing tea here. What are they putting in the tea? But no, I thought the movie was beautiful. I thought it was really well done. It's different. It's a slow moving movie,
Yes.
which there's not a lot of those anymore. But towards the end where it kind of takes a turn to Slasherville,
It's really good.
it goes really fast.
Yeah.
Like
Really
like
fast.
audience reactions to stabbings and things.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
that like,
Right. I heard more like audible gasps and like, people,
when he gets in the
whispering
forehead. Oh, man.
or in the cheek. It's in
Oh,
the
the cheek,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah. Oh yeah, that one's.
Oh, then his eye comes. Oh,
Yeah, and you single tear of blood. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh no, it's good. And it's funny. The more like, it's rough. I think I may have this. May be one that like I'm gonna have to buy the Blu-ray and watch it a couple times as well because like when I think about what she says the movie is, the idea that the romance itself is also not supposed to be there. That really means that all this is a movie. It's like a It's more like just a female revenge film, sort of, right? Where this woman runs into, it's Rebecca to some degree. It's this woman runs into this other woman does not like her and tries to kill her. And that's the whole story. She also kind of falls in love, or the guy kind of falls in love with her too. And to think of it about it that way, to execute a film like that also has ghosts in it and is a period piece and that kind of stuff, to execute a film like that, if you did it correctly, the movie would be a masterpiece. And because what you're attempting is so difficult that if you get it right, it's a masterpiece. This movie doesn't quite get it right. So it's like, it's hard to hold it against it when you're saying like, you're trying to do something incredibly difficult and you didn't quite succeed for me, but you still made a fun film.
what I did like too is the ghosts weren't the bad people.
Right.
You
Love
know,
that.
There's a lot of movies where they always try to make them,
Yeah.
even the way the movie was sold is the ghosts were evil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because, and the way that it's shot, the way that they're designed
Yeah.
is like that. I mean, when the mother first shows up, like she's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jessica Chastain's really good in it.
She's great. Especially when she goes full on crazy. Oh, man. It's good.
Yep. So yeah, I really enjoyed that film. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
It's another one I wish it'd come out before the end of the year. It's not going to, because I really want to watch it again.
Yeah.
But it's
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, Crimson Peak, everybody, a film. Mm-hmm. So, and then a couple weeks ago, I also, James and I and somebody else also went and saw Sicario.
Nice.
Ah, yes.
Sicario's good.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's hard. It's rough. It kind of hits you.
It's not a happy-go-lucky movie.
No, no, not at all. And especially just like the first, like when they get to Juarez, and they're all on the kind of convoy in the cars.
This is right about the time that the homeless man started taking his shower in our theater.
God, yeah. I'll let you worry about that.
Oh no,
in a
I
little
told
bit.
that. I told that story when we talked.
Oh, did you? Okay. What the fuck?
I'm just still bitter, man.
Just like how you guys probably touched on it, but just how Emily Blunt is the kind of connection to the audience over like what the fuck is happening in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And she like when she goes, what the fuck are we doing, or like what she says there, like I totally believed her.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't Emily Blunt, I don't know.
Yeah, when she kills that dude, she's like, what the fuck is happening? I'm telling you, I love this fucking movie so much.
Yeah.
I've already been in love with Emily Blunt, and then I see her in this. I'm like, God, I love her.
She's cool.
It's great.
She's cool because she's also in a role that, what I like about her, she does roles where it's not about how pretty she is. It's how badass or how great of an actress she is.
Yeah, like I actually saw Into the Woods.
Yeah, she's great in that.
She was really good in that. She's pretty cool in Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, dude. Edge of Tomorrow. She's the star of Edge of Tomorrow. I know it's a Tom Cruise vehicle, but
Yeah.
she's the glue of that movie.
It's like just the right amount of humor that she'll kind of pepper in here and there, and it's really good.
She's great.
And then actually, I thought like the last fifth of Sicario was less enjoyable, mostly because it wasn't what I wanted, and that's not really fair to the movie. But
Are you saying that because the ethical question is not what you wanted, or you didn't want it to not?
I
You know what I'm saying? Like
I can take or leave an ethical thing like that, but I didn't. I wanted there to be more likable people in the movie than just Emily Blunt and her friend.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, I think that's what that director
Jack Bristow. Jack Bristow's character is still likable.
Yeah.
He's not in the end of the movie, but yeah.
But yeah, no, I see what you're saying, because it's hard to latch on to people. And that's why I think Emily Blunt's performance in that's so great, is because you're with her on the ride, because you don't know what's happening in the film at all. And you slowly start figuring it out along with her. And yeah, I love that movie. It'll probably be my top 10 if I haven't, blushed about it enough.
It's pretty dope. So Sicario comes recommended. Did you mention to these guys about when I found Big Daddy stuff on YouTube? Do you remember this?
No, I have not told this story.
So a few months ago, I had a song stuck in my head and I remembered it from the opening credits of Big Daddy. As it turns out, it was "Passing Me By" the Far Side. I don't know if you remember it all, but in order to go find it at the time, I was like, no, I remember it's at the beginning of Big Daddy. So I went on YouTube and I was searching like Big Daddy opening sequence or Big Daddy or whatever. And there are more than one instances of somebody showing you, like they will put in, like they turn a camera on, point it at their TV, and then put Big Daddy in their VCR and start it. And it's the like 8 minutes between when the tape starts and the movie starts of like, here's the here's like the TriStar logo or whatever, and here's the FBI thing, and here's like the 2 trailers that were on the tape, and then the movie starts and the YouTube video ends, and there are more than one of these.
Really?
Yeah.
For Big Daddy though, not for other.
For Big Daddy.
What's the trailer? Why would they do that?
I don't know. And so that got me going. Like, did people do this for other movies? I went and looked for like Titanic, like Apollo, nope.
Big movies,
nope,
sure.
Nothing.
Really?
I have no idea what the fuck. It was the weirdest thing.
That is weird.
And I'm still baffled. Like I remember being a kid and like putting this tape in and then knowing like, oh man, I can't wait for the movie to start. But this other stuff's in the front too, and I like this stuff too. Of like, or maybe it's these like 2 trailers for like whatever Disney thing. You know, when I'm like 8 or whatever, when I'm like really young. Before I realized like, no, fuck, I just want to like see the movie. Let's just fast forward all this shit. It's like maybe they're trying to preserve some of that. I have no idea why they're there. Weird. It's super strange. And then I've been watching season 2 of The Leftovers.
Ooh.
James has to get on that because it's good. You did like the first season a lot, right?
I love the first season.
Yeah, 2 has just kind of
rough show.
It's kind of got me in just the right way, just like the first one did. It's different enough. There are new characters.
Cool.
There are returning characters. And
is that
the
HBO Justin Theroux?
Yes.
One?
Yeah. There was a rapture of sorts.
Thoreau, whatever the fuck his name is.
Thoreau.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thoreau. I think it's Thoreau.
It's Thoreau.
Before I really knew what that's like, before I had watched that first season, I thought it was going to be a cool, like, kind of mystery about why was there a rapture, and that's not really what the show's about. It's about look how kind of fucked up these people are afterwards, and how they're trying to kind of keep everything together, and some are succeeding, some are not.
It's really like more about grief than anything else, right? Like in a very general way, because even because that's the closest emotion to what they are going through, considering that like 10% of the population is gone.
I think it was 2%.
Is it only 2?
It's only 2.
I knew it was startlingly small.
It's like a small number. It's like, it's a weird, unexplainable thing to begin with. But But yeah, this second season is good. I'm 3 episodes in. I think the 4th will be tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's got me in just the right way. My favorite character from the first one was, I can't remember her name, but the woman whose husband and 2 kids depart.
Yeah.
She's my favorite character from the first one. She's been good in this one so far. She's had moments where I'm like, fucking, I knew I liked her. She's cool.
So what is I remember seeing a trailer and like they go to a town called Miracle or something like that. What sort of different, like,
so
has a bunch of time passed or what?
An amount of time have passed, and they will kind of, in the first few episodes, they will tell you what has been happening in that time.
Okay.
But kind of the base of it is that eventually they move away and they move to this town, I think Miracle, Texas, where nobody departed. Nobody was raptured from Miracle, Texas.
Huh.
And this town is now a weird, like, Mecca / national park of sorts, where people come from all over because, maybe there's mystical healing properties or something. Maybe they're religious and safe there where they wouldn't be anywhere else. And so there's some kind of oddities surrounding that. The circumstances in which they actually move there are really funny. There's an auction for a house that once you see the scene, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's just good. No, it's dope. I want to keep watching that.
No, for sure. I will check it out.
And then, I think the only other thing I would want to mention is that I have not seen The Martian, but I want to. I did read the book.
Yeah.
The book was dope.
I was thinking about that when we started. I was like, oh shoot, he and I have still not seen The Martian again. So yeah, we need to go.
Because you were like, I think that day it was like, do you want to go see The Martian or do you want to go see Sicario? And we landed on Sicario, I think.
Yeah.
Even though you had already seen The Martian.
Yeah, I went to The Martian with yeah.
It is just like the book is about like, here's everyone just being nice to try to be good humans and get this guy back. Is that what the movie is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just like people and teamwork and perseverance.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
There's no villain in the book. It's not that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, there is that scene where the alien from Mars walks over and starts punching holes in his suit. I think that guy's
voiced by Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul shows up. There's just fart jokes and.
Come on, fucker. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, like it turns out Paul is living in the space station with him and like smoking all his weed and the whole place smells like alien farts. Oh, that was really good. The Rogan laugh. That was good. Oh man.
I really want to see it because I want to see. There's certain scenes I want to see if they do it. I think I talked to you about this. The book is weird in that, from the first page, you kind of expect that it's going to be written just from Mark Watney. Do they pronounce it Watney in the movie?
Watney, yeah.
Okay. And it's
actually they always pronounce it Watney.
Watney, yeah. And it's just him writing these logs over, like the first, like I think the first sentence in the book is I'm pretty much fucked or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to science the shit out of this place in the book.
Yeah, I think,
Nice.
it's got to be in there. Like, I mean, I don't know why they would put that in the movie and not the book. It's got to be in the book.
Yeah.
And then about a third of the way through the book, they start telling the story in other ways. But up until then, the first, 100 pages or so, it's all these logs that he's writing.
There's nothing abstract like that in the film.
Okay.
I mean, there's like video diaries, but it's like him talking to us as if we're the video diary. That
Sure,
makes sense.
yeah.
So I don't really count that as like they don't do any like weird narrative things.
Yeah, like the logs he's writing are all in first person.
Yeah. They do use the phrase "steely-eyed missile man" though,
Yeah.
which made me pretty happy.
It's in the book, and then you told me it's in the movie, so that's good.
Yep.
And then actually closer to the end, or like it's in a few places. There are some instances where they will drop all of that, and it becomes this detached third person narrative of talking about the astronaut. The astronaut did this. He went there, and it's always it after 2 times of seeing it, you knew that whenever you saw that, it was, oh, something shitty is about to happen.
Yeah.
It was actually, don't understand why it's like that at all.
Huh.
But apart from that, I really like the book, so I should go see that film.
You should. It's good. Cool.
That's all I got.
James?
So other than Crimson Peak, I also, I started watching Fargo. I've seen the first 2 episodes of season 2 of Fargo, which so far are pretty great. If you watch the first season, basically this, season takes place when the main character from the first season is a little girl. She's 8, something like that, 7 or 8. And she's not really, the main characters are, her dad and her grandfather, who are both cops in Fargo. Her dad's a state trooper. Her grandfather is, a just city police officer. And there's, let's see, okay, so they're introducing us to like the Minnesota mob to some degree. So there's sort of this mob-like family. And the youngest of the 3 sons, gets into an argument with this woman. The scene is great. Gets into an argument with this woman and, ends up shooting her, shooting they're in a diner at night, shooting the waitress running the diner as well as the cook, and then he runs out. And, so this is all in the first episode, so I'm not really spoiling anything, but I want to tell you what's happening just to intrigue people, especially if you watch the first season and you're like, oh yeah, I want to watch that, but I don't, like, you haven't pulled the trigger yet. So this young guy, after he kills these 3 people, he runs out into the street and he gets distracted. And while he's distracted, this car like smashes into him and he goes through the windshield. Clearly, like, just killed instantly, you have to think. And so it's a shot from pretty far away. And then the car just pulls away and drives off with him in the windshield. And that's the end of the first episode. And you're just like, holy shit, like, who is in that car and why did they just drive off? Because they clearly have no connection to him. Like, you know, that's sort of that is the big mystery in this season so far, is this murder, and how is that murder, how is the murder of the people in the diner and then this guy's murder in the street going to all tie together, and all these loose ends that get created from it. And how are these people going to figure this stuff out? You find out pretty quickly, like, who is driving that car. It's starting to do a lot of the same stuff, right? A lot of, like, good people getting squeezed into really, really rough situations. Jesse Plemons, who's from Friday Night Lights, and he was in Black Mass. He's a good actor. He ends up having to, he's a good guy who wants to have a nice life, but ends up being tied into this murder and ends up having to dispose of a body. And you just know, like, that's not going to go well. Like, either he's going to break at some point or somebody's going to figure him out. The thing that I'm skipping that's really curious to me, I mean, obviously I like the show. I love the way the characters are written. Ted Danson plays the grandfather, cop, and he's just been really fun. Like, there's this lightheartedness to a lot of the characters in the face of the violence that's going on. That is exactly what Fargo is known for. I don't know that I love Patrick Wilson's character the way that I loved the main character in the first season as much. Like, she just really got into your heart and made you just, like, want to love that character so well. And with Patrick Wilson, like, he's just a good guy, but I'm not in love with the good guys in the show yet. But I'm sure I will eventually. So the weird thing, though, is I mentioned that the guy goes out and he's in the street and he gets distracted. What he gets distracted by is potentially a UFO. Like, there's lights in the sky and they look like, they move weird, like, it's weird. And I'm just very weirded out by the fact that they did that. And then they end the second season with the recording of the opening lines of War of the Worlds, as they do this shot of Jesse Plemons is a butcher, so you can imagine how he disposes of the body that he has to dispose of.
He puts it in a wood chipper.
Very similarly.
Looks
yeah.
like you got your friend in the wood chipper there.
His friend is in a meat grinder this time.
I have a dumb, ignorant question. Does the series Fargo have anything to do with the movie Fargo?
Not directly, no.
Or is it just a coincidence that it takes place in Fargo and it's called Fargo?
I mean, it's based on the film, but none of the characters cross over, nothing like that.
Okay.
So the way I would explain it is this. The film Fargo, and in the same way the television show Fargo, posit the idea that Fargo and the surrounding towns of Fargo, North Dakota, are really pleasant places full of extremely innocent people through which extremely evil people tend to pass and in their wake leave a lot of dead bodies.
I love it when you say the word posit.
So what I mean by that is like there are a couple of just themes, like the juxtaposition of innocence and evil that are that are tied to Fargo, but the story of the film, the story of the first season, and now the story of the second season are not really connected. You know, there's also in the show they're starting to build some through lines. So like there's these guys from Duluth in the first season that the way that they look visually is sort of like kind of Amish or something. Like I don't really know where they're from. And there's a similar set of guys in this show that makes me think that there is some evil organization out there and that those guys are all a part of it, you know, from both seasons.
Interesting.
So I think that there's like little things that they're going to tie together, but I don't think they'll ever tie together to the film. I would kind of be disappointed if they did.
Sure.
So
it can stand on its own. It can be its own thing.
Yeah. And it does a good job of that.
Cool.
So I didn't finish my thought though, that the last episode of season 2 is this shot from the butchery while that audio of the War of the Worlds is playing. And then it starts to like pull up into this looming shot from above the town. And you're just like, I am so confused. If they bring aliens to this show, I will be furious because it is such a great character drama. I have a feeling it'll just be like a military thing, but like the way that they're building the mystery is really cool. Like it's just a subtle, neat thing. There just had better not be aliens. So, I really like it, of course. Not as strong as season 1 yet, but it's still a fun show. So, the very last thing that I watched, let me move along, is, you lent me, originally I was gonna not watch it, cause I think it's fun to go into movies that I don't think I'm gonna enjoy that are sequels to films made for 11-year-olds.
And Ryan.
What?
And me.
And you. And not have seen the movie that came before it, simply as a test of, hey, if this movie is, can this movie really stand on its own? But 2 weeks ago, I was talking to you and Zach Eastman, and you guys were like, hey, Hunger Games 3, Zach was like, Hunger Games 3 is the movie that kind of got me into those movies. Like, that was sort of the one that convinced me. And he was talking about Donald Sutherland and, so anyway, and I'm gonna try to watch all these dumb 11-year-old movies because I'm somewhat fascinated by them, and why they are. So I watched The Hunger Games 3, which is called, what? Mockingjay Part 1. Right, okay. And it is a well-made, well-acted film in which some stuff happens, but none of it's by her really. Like, I don't think she does anything in the movie.
I'm pretty sure she shoots down a ship with her bow and arrow.
Yeah, but that's like,
then she rallies people, to fight.
But that's my point. Is like she just talks, right? Like she just talks through the whole, it feels to
and
me
she
like
sings a great song. And
it's just, that scene's annoying as hell. Ugh.
Our I don't really know much about it except that it is about like this like shitty dystopia that everyone lives in, and then there's this tournament every year, let's say, called the Hunger Games, and they pull like kids out of each district to go do it, and then it's like a fight to the death thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so that's what the first movie's about. Are there more tournaments in 2 and 3, or 2 or 3 about like Jennifer Lawrence came along and she's so beautiful and such a badass that she put an end to it, and now it's just further stories in that world.
That's a good question, Dan. So the second film is, the first film is, hey, there's a tournament. Sorry. The second film is, hey, there's a tournament again, but
Okay.
at the end of the tournament, she breaks some shit, and now there's not a tournament, and again, there's a revolution.
Damn.
And then the third one is like the revolution.
All right.
But the third one, they split into two, and so the first half, which is the film I'm talking about, is her talking about the revolution, and then the fourth one will be the revolution.
They need a whole 2 hours and 20 minutes to talk about the revolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some weird shit in this movie, like Natalie Dormer, who's real pretty, and she shaves her head and she looks like a badass. And in the posters, I was like, dude, I want to see her kick some ass. She's a director. She is not a ass kicker, which is too bad. But she's like a war documentarian sort of person, right? So she goes out on the battlefield and like film stuff.
She makes propaganda films.
Yeah, she makes propaganda. Yeah.
That,
but I was disappointed because just from the posters, I was like, I want to see her kick some ass.
does she do
And
that
she
like
doesn't do
Natalie Dormer smirk?
Of course she does.
Okay, good.
Of course she does.
Somebody, I mean, it was some.
I don't
picture-
remember seeing it for sure, but I'm sure she does.
There was some picture of her on some red carpet somewhere, just making that smirk, and then next to her, somebody put a picture of Lola Bunny from Space Jam, and they look fucking identical.
They totally do.
And Natalie Dormer is fantastic.
She's a pretty lady.
She is good to
She
look
can
at.
pull off the I shaved half my hair off thing. She's still very attractive with her half of her head.
I don't
shaved.
typically like that. I'll have to go look at some of those.
She's a wonderful actress.
She is. She's good. She's good, and apparently a
Thanks.
great documentarian.
Thanks for throwing us under the bus on that one. That's really
yeah,
nice.
yeah, I like that. Like for once, Ryan's not the one talking about like I like that movie because there's boobs. Like we do it, and then he's got to throw us under
I'm
the
not even
bus.
saying that. I'm saying that she's like beautiful. Like that's
Yeah, I didn't
like,
say,
there's
like,
a difference between
I like
tits
Game of
and
War
ass
because of
and
Natalie Dormer.
She's beautiful.
Wait,
There's
if you
a
want to
huge
see her
difference.
naked, though, guys,
Right, Game of Thrones. Yeah, no, I know. That's not
If
long
you-
before I
if you wanna
turned
see
that
her
show
fuck
off.
a little boy, Game of Thrones.
Oh, does that happen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Joffrey's like 20.
she marries that dude. She's married to that gay guy.
The younger one.
I
married
don't
the-
think I've got there yet. I've only watched like 4 episodes in season 4.
Okay.
I'm a little behind.
I'll
She was married to the gay guy. Oh, but then he got killed by the ghost monster.
Yep.
Right. So then she goes and marries Joffrey?
Yeah, and then some other stuff happens.
Okay.
And then she's
So,
banging.
but she doesn't bang Joffrey. She bangs a different Joffrey?
Well, she bangs all kinds of people.
Oh, okay.
Banging left and right.
Maybe I'll
Yeah,
get
the
back
last
in-
episode I saw, Joffrey died.
Oh!
Yes.
All
And
right.
So after
I'll
that,
watch that.
Is it
After that, Tommen becomes
Does he come cool? Does he die?
King
Does he die
and-
cool?
actually
Yeah.
like some people think so. I didn't think it was very satisfying.
Oh. Has he died? Do they like tie horses to each of his arms, his wrists, and his ankles and pull them apart?
He's poisoned.
Ah, lame.
Right. Like he suffers.
Is he poisoned with drain cleaner? Where like his
Yeah,
esophagus
They
burns
went
out
and got some like liquid plumber and pulled
Yeah.
out from under the counter, and
and it melts through his throat.
no, like he suffered for sure, but it was not like a gruesome like fucking hell yeah he deserved that bullshit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that at all. Also, like total aside here, reading some interview with him, like that guy, that actor, apparently he like, I mean, this was a couple years ago at this point, but he said like, no, after this I don't want to do anything else. Like he's just gonna do that and have that be his thing and move on from acting.
Huh.
Maybe that's changed since then. Maybe I'm half making this up in my head. I don't know. but he was like, he is so like, that character is so hated, and he does that character very, like, he makes you hate that character.
Yeah. Then it would be really hard for him to go and be like,
I don't think that's it at all. I think he just says, I just want to do this one thing and be good at being this shithead, and then that's it.
his next film, Weekend at Joffrey's, where all the pretty ladies come over to his apartment. He falls in love with one of them.
The Bachelor.
Yeah, it's like The
Joffrey.
Bachelor, but you want to like him. Anyway, it was okay. Like I didn't love it.
What?
But I don't love any of these films. So
Yeah, so you break the motto of real nerds, expecting
No.
every movie to be good.
No,
it's like
no.
you're David O. Russell. You
I
just
said-
refuse to believe his movies
I
will be
just
good.
told you that I picked it up and borrowed it from you because you guys were like, "Hey, this convinced me," and so I was like, "Okay, cool." this will be the one. Like these movies can always turn around and be cool. And early on I was like, okay, like, all right. But then I just like halfway through I was like, she's not really doing anything.
She's just looking good.
And she does that.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is a very pretty lady.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
And a great actress.
She's also a good actress, Ryan.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
I saw Silver Linings Playbook.
She's great in that.
She was really good in that, as it turns out.
Cool. Anyway, that's what I've been watching.
I was thinking about that movie, like Bradley Cooper, for like what is it, Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
Like you just fucking hate him in that.
Yeah.
And then you get to something like Silver Linings Playbook, where he's like really really good.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. He's a good actor.
I've loved him ever since The Alias.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
The Alias.
The boyfriend in Alias.
Yeah. No. He's
He's
the
wannabe
sidekick.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I was gonna say he's not the fiance.
Yeah.
Not the fiance. Yeah.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we went and saw Steve Jobs. James, should people see Steve Jobs?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny because like I don't really like Steve Jobs and I don't really like Apple products. But
does this change your opinion about Steve Jobs?
No, it actually doesn't.
It just verifies everything you felt about him.
Yeah, it's like I listen to the things he says and I go, yeah, I don't like you or your products, do I? But at the same time, you know what I do like? I like Aaron Sorkin and I like Danny Boyle. So I think it's a really well made movie. I think the acting is fantastic. And the what they did to this screenplay, like the things that happened in this film are both made up and real at the same time. And the way that he structures this movie is, I think, really brilliant and fun. And just really enjoyable to watch. So yeah, 100%. I think people should check it out.
Did you see it, Dan?
No, I did not see Steve Jobs, unfortunately. but I will have some questions for you guys. But
Cool.
but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun watching this film. I didn't know it was going to be as funny as I thought it was going to be. And also it makes you...
Aaron Sorkin's always funny.
I know. And, you know, it had a lot of scenes of people walking down hallways, talking.
Dude. They were really nice hallways.
And for a movie that, I don't want to say it's about nothing, but it's really about how he's doesn't really do anything and gets credit for it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, but the movie is really well done. And I'll also give props. I thought it was so close to having a hallucinating scene in it, and he didn't do it.
You talking about the rocket?
Yeah, and he didn't do it. It's just like playing with it.
Right. He plays
And
with that stuff.
so I'm very happy that Danny Boyle has grown as a film director.
Yeah.
We'll
talk about it.
I'm pretty sure every movie he's done has one in it.
Yeah, it is it's not so much the psychological, it's that in his films people's thoughts and emotions break the film. And he does it here too, right?
He
so
does.
like there'll be moments where Steve's like thinking intensely, and I mean we're getting into review here, but I'll finish
play the
sentence.
trailer.
Okay.
What if the computer was a beautiful object? Something you want to look at and have in your home? And what if, instead of it being in the right hands, it was in everyone's hands?
We'd be talking about the most tectonic shift in the status quo since ever.
I'm begging you to manage expectations.
Have I ever let you down?
Every single goddamn time.
Then I'm due.
Your Apple stock is worth $441 million. And your daughter and her mother are on welfare.
She's not my daughter!
You must be able to see that she looks like you.
We will know soon enough if you were Leonardo da Vinci or just think you are.
You're the only one who sees the world the same way I do.
No one sees the world the same way you do.
Everyone is waiting for the Mac.
What are people going to do with it?
It's an abstract.
We're gonna do that.
You're issuing contradictory instructions. You're insubordinate. You make people miserable. The board believes you're no longer necessary to this company.
I sat in a garage and invented the future. Because artists lead and hacks ask for a show of hands.
What you make isn't supposed to be the best part of you. When you're a father, that's what's supposed to be the best part of you.
I'm the only one who knows that this guy is someone you invented.
Is there a plan?
The plan will reveal itself to you when you're ready to see it.
there are moments where he's thinking intensely, and then they'll just like he'll put in just like a couple of frames of what it is he's trying not to think about, you know, and they'll do that kind of stuff. Where
And
it's
that's fine to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Because
I agree.
that's what it's supposed to be.
You just hate when like, but to be fair, Aaron Ralston actually says that he had a vision of his future son
That's
in
fine.
the cave. Like that's why.
And
that's
28
in that
days
film.
later, that Cillian Murphy's character has to do drugs and have that happen when he's like out in the woods. It's stupid. Anyways, so Steve Jobs this movie is structured so well because now we know Apple, as every year they have a product launch. It has to come out. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it takes place in 1984. He's going to release, the Macintosh. And everyone's telling him it's stupid because in 1984, who's going to pay $2,500 for a computer? I don't even know what that is in today's money.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money. And what's great is Fassbender is so good at this, and he plays him as this arrogant asshole who only cares about himself and the image that he's presenting. I mean, there's even that great scene at the beginning. And he's like, wait a minute, that disc fits in your pocket?
The disc is blue. The computer is gray. The stage is gray.
Yeah.
The shirt has to be white.
He just
like, what the fuck? Are you
he has to be in
talking
control. And then he'll go in these weird moments where wait, I'm not being a cool guy. And then he goes right back to being a total jerk. And he has this relationship with this lady who he had to have a paternity test on the girl, his daughter, and he still refuses to believe that she's his daughter, and he like hired a lawyer to prove 28% that it wouldn't be his. And
Was it even, no, so the blood test proves that it's 94% him. He has some bullshit algorithm where he told Time Magazine that 28% of men in the world could be her father.
That's
which
it.
is like this quote that is so horrible and gross, and like, so whatever it is he was trying to think, like, it's completely misconstrued by the way he said it.
But then he has these moments, like his little daughter's 5 and she gets on the Macintosh and is able to use it. And then he realizes that she's, special. And this is what it's made for. This is what it's made for. Anybody can use it.
Right.
Because, so it goes from 84 to 88 after, he got bought out from Apple and he loses all the money, for them because they can't sell the Macintosh, to his next product, which is the Next. I don't even remember this at all.
He went and made it. Well, I don't think it was called the Next. I think it was called the Black Box or something like that. But the company was called Next.
Yeah.
For sure.
So he's promoting this one, and so the whole time they kind of do these flashbacks of what happened with him at Apple, and well, I guess they don't. They kind of show newspaper clippings of what's going on with him.
Well, when he's fighting with John, they are showing clips.
Yeah. So, but that's a little later on. And what's so cool is, and this is why Aaron Sorkin's such a great screenwriter.
Yeah.
Is this is probably not how it went down, but the way he tells the story is so captivating. He's like, hey, did you read the story that someone put in Mac Times about how you're going to make this product and just hype it up and Apple's going to buy you back? And he's like, I'm going to keep this.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he has this amazing fight with Jeff Daniels' character, and it's intercut with him being fired from Apple.
Yeah.
And it's super intense, and both the actors are just boom, boom, boom. And to me, that is the epitome of an Aaron Sorkin script.
Yeah.
Where people are just talking, and it's the most intense, 10 minutes of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, are they going to fire him? And, and who's right and who's wrong? And,
yeah. And it's just zingers left and right, and little pieces of dialogue that go by so fast, but you immediately are just like, I wish I could remember that line. Like, that was so good. I read an interview with Aaron Sorkin where he specifically said that, when they asked him to write the movie, he was like, he couldn't write anything for a few weeks at the beginning. He was having a really hard time figuring out how to get away from the traditional biopic structure of basically the question was, how do you start
life, death?
Yeah. How do you start this movie not in the garage?
Mm-hmm.
How do you start this movie not around the garage? Right. Better yet, how do you maybe make this movie and never show the garage, which they do, but it's special.
It's great.
When they show the garage, it's a really special, it's for a purpose. And so when he came up with the idea of, and he sent it off to the producers and said hey, what I want to do is I want to take all of the moments that I really enjoy and that I think tell a great story about who he was as a person. I want to take those moments, specifically surrounding the plot of his daughter, the plot of him getting kicked off of the Apple board, and this whole question about his vision of design for computers. I want to take those three plots, all of the things that are important to those elements of his life, and then I want to rearrange them all so that they all collide into these three moments right before a release, a launch, right?
There's even that great line where he says, "Why does everyone get drunk and come talk to me?
Right.
Does everyone get drunk and talk to me 5 minutes before a launch?"
Right. So like all of the things happened, but none of them happened then. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With the exception of the things like the computer not saying hello at the time. That's true and obviously did happen at the convention because that's when where it happened. But all the other stuff about how come every time he's doing a launch, that's also when his baby mama is there to get some money.
Yeah, but it's a really cool creative idea because
yeah.
It's the pressure of that. And
Right.
so, I mean,
it allows for all of those things to collide in a really interesting way that's, I think, really impactful and cool.
I know, I almost cried when, so the second time he hangs out with his daughter, and she comes up to him and hugs him really tight. He's like, "I want to live with you," and he doesn't know how to hug her.
Yeah,
it's powerful. And
I can't remember when I cried. It wasn't that. It was one of the. Was it when he gets kicked off or the fight? Maybe I don't know. There was a point, and it was in the second one because it wasn't. It wasn't when they bring things back together. Oh no, it was when that's what it was. Oh man, it's the scene when Kate Winslet comes to him and demands that he fix it. And she is so emotional, and she's like, "I've watched it for 19 years," and she gives him that speech about when you're a father, the best thing about you is supposed to be that you are a father, and it's the worst thing about you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he kind of gives in, but you can tell he doesn't really care. And she starts taking his shit and throwing it on the floor. And that's when I was just like, oh, because it was the relationship between them that I loved so much, that the fact that then she was just throwing herself on this altar of like, no more. This has to stop.
Well, even when John comes back in and he brings him the gift of the Newton.
Yeah.
And he's telling Steve Wozniak that it's like, "No, your garbage device. And then you find out, he's like, "Well, the only reason I like it is because the stylus. Why have one when you have 5 of them?"
Right.
And what's great about the character, I don't even know if it's a character, about the way it's portrayed is he doesn't have the mental capabilities to be normal and nice. The only thing he knows how to be is a pitchman and, all this other stuff. Cause all he had to say to Steve Wozniak is that.
Right.
But it hurt Steve Jobs because Steve wanted him to thank all the hard work that Apple did before, and he refused to do it. And he would even give him credit for maybe the Newton worked well, but no, it's the stylus he didn't like, but he couldn't say that. It's just, fuck you. This is not the future, and it's my vision. And
right.
It's very interesting. And, it's really well done.
Yeah, it is. Him as a character and especially the story about the way he evolves and his relationship with his daughter evolves throughout the film, I think is exceptional. And certainly the heart of the movie.
Oh yeah. And that's why too, I didn't see the one with Ashton Kutcher because I knew he couldn't pull off what Michael Fassbender did. Kutcher might look more like Steve Jobs, but I felt like Fassbender inhabited that.
Yeah, I think Fassbender gets the voice really well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think he plays the 3 Steve Jobses here, or even 4, really.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
The 4 Steve Jobs that he plays in this film, he plays them each very different.
Yep.
The very last one is,
he's almost at the Steve
himself.
Jobs that we know.
Right.
Where
he's certainly at the Steve Jobs that became the big famous.
That's what I mean. He's a guy that everybody recognizes.
Right.
Where, that's what's great about this behind the scenes stuff is.
Yeah.
I mean, before he died, I heard he was an asshole, but
yeah,
I don't think that's ever been
I think that anybody who tries to design close systems in general is an asshole. So like that was the thing, is that he keeps talking about this stuff and they keep like trying to make it clear, like, no, like he's trying to make this perfect thing. And I'm like, his perfect thing is a shitty idea. Like, no, stop trying to build that. Stop it. You're the worst. But whatever.
Yeah.
Some people like it. They're wrong.
Dan, did you have questions? Sorry.
What were your
Yeah,
questions?
like, so what's the time frame? Like, how early and how late does it go?
So it starts off, it's in basically 3 sections. The first section is in 1984. The second section is in 1995? 93, something like that?
No, the second it's 84, 88, then 98.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, 88 and then 98.
What was even happening around 1998?
iMac.
Yeah, that's the iMac
Okay,
release.
okay.
So the first one is the Macintosh release. The second one is the Next release, and then the third one is the iMac release. And then the fourth Steve Jobs he plays is the one in the garage. Because you see a couple of shots, like 1 or 2 scenes in the garage.
Every time you say that, I'm going to say "fuck you."
Yeah, that's so good. Computers aren't art. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
And then he also plays that one in a different scene in a restaurant as well.
Because my awareness of Steve Jobs was probably around the time of, like, when I became aware of him or probably around the time of the announcement of the iPhone.
Oh, okay.
And not before.
Well, yeah,
that.
it's
So the iMac was when he released the first iMac, which you remember, the big globy blue ones, right? That's when he had just come back as the CEO of Apple.
Okay.
Because that company was going to go bankrupt within a year probably. And so he came back and came out with this thing, and that got really big, fulfilled really the promise of everything he'd wanted to do with the Mac and the Next, because that became the computer that was in every school across the country.
Yeah. I was in a school that had those.
Right. Yeah. Even though my school in elementary school had a Mac Classic, which is fun.
Yeah, I remember using, like, remember the turtle program?
Yeah.
You could draw with the turtle. I remember
Fucking number munchers, man. Come on.
Yeah. And so then from there, like, yeah, that's when they sort of pay a little homage to, hey, I'm going to come out with an iPod eventually. But
okay.
if you really didn't know Steve Jobs until the iPhone, you were the last person to know, to be very honest with you.
Yeah,
or harsh.
I don't know. Like,
was it like he really was a like household name after probably like sometime around the iPod?
Yeah.
Like would be when like my mom probably knew who Steve Jobs was.
I could not have told you, or, circa 2005, I could not have told you who Steve Jobs was.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
So
very interesting. Yeah. So it's divided up into 3 sections, and each one is only taking place within the last hour before a keynote speak. And specifically a product launch that was important to the history of Apple, or actually I guess Next, because the middle one's not even Apple. So, yeah, I mean it's really good. It's really good.
Dope.
I was expecting the score to change between each section too, and it didn't.
Nope.
It was just sort of
It's clever though.
It was a Danny Boyle movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Not a traditional one though at all. I don't think it was as like frantic as his other movies.
No.
But I think the script, doesn't
the
allow
script itself is, well, I would argue that an Aaron Sorkin script is frantic.
No, I mean, dialogue wise, but I mean, like, cut.
True. Oh, I see. Yeah.
He has to let it play because that's the way it's written.
Right.
So besides Train Spotting in 28 Days and Sunshine, what else has Danny Boyle done?
Millions, Slumdog Millionaire.
He did
128
Slumdog
Days.
Millionaire.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I would not have thought that for a second.
Yeah.
Because like I saw that movie 8 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a few months after it came out on video.
Yeah.
And I still remember like shots of that movie and visual things because of the way they did the subtitles and all that other stuff. Like I wouldn't have thought that at all. Huh.
Yeah.
Weird. He's a creative director.
Movie. Yeah.
So they're bitching, like you were talking about the soundtrack. Is it totally bitching like Sunshine?
No,
it's like Bob Dylan interstitialed with like.
It's bitchin' like the score to Halt and Catch Fire is bitchin'. Like sort of 80s computer music and
Bob Dylan.
I would say it's very close to it's because there's Bob Dylan in the movie. It's very close to like a Trent Reznor score. Yeah. So
okay.
Anyway,
next week we're singing the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Cool.
And hopefully Randy will be able to be on the show.
Yeah.
Thank
fun.
you, Dan, for joining us as always.
Mm-hmm.
From all of us at Real Nerds, see you at the movies. Bye.
You can't say that.
Why?
Because he's dead now, so you can say see you at the movies.
Oh, is that what Ebert said?
Wasn't it?
Well, he wasn't able to say it for a long time.
Wow.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.